3,
2,
1.
Action.
I'm in trouble, everybody.
God damn it. He's not in trouble.
Sam's mad at me.
No, I'm not mad at you.
Sam's mad. Bean Mafia, I just want you guys to know on the record, if at any point you're like, Sam's yelling at Deric in this episode, I said she's mad at me.
No, I just presented a few things that I felt like should get done that only you can do, and you yelled at me for even bringing them up.
Yelled at you?
I don't want to like make this about me, but I think everyone who's watching should notice who's doing the yelling in this situation.
Because I'm yelling
who's
now.
Raising the voice. You know what? I can check the sound. Actually, your voice is much louder than mine on the sound.
I don't like to be falsely accused. All right, I'm on record saying that.
What am I falsely accusing you of?
Yell it. And now I'm yelling.
I'm not. You know, if you look at the
something, I commit the crime.
If you look at the sound,
now it's like, oh,
if you
look
at the sound machine,
well, guess what's about to happen now, baby?
You can see that his voice is elevated louder than mine.
Yeah, I don't like
the bars down
here. If someone says to me, Deric, like, oh, Deric, don't get angry, and I wasn't angry, well, now it's like, well, now I'm angry. Or if you say like, hey, Deric, don't yell at me.
All right, so this is what
happened. And I was like, wait a minute.
Hey,
I disagreed with you. I said,
hey, are you going to fix the computer this week? And you were like,
yes.
And I was like, okay, but you said that last week.
I did.
And then you're like, why are you always on my case?
Whoa, who said that? Wait a minute. No one said that at all.
Okay, what were the words you said?
No, definitely not. I like how even you were like, well, yeah, he didn't say that.
What were the words you said? But that's how you took it. Well, you know what? I don't speak Ebonics like you. What were the words you said?
Samantha's racist, everybody. I can't believe she says this and then she wants to have black children one day. It's pretty not okay. Okay?
Well, maybe I'll just find some other black man to inseminate me.
Some guy who wait a minute. So that's what you want? Is just some dude so you can call him the N-word to his babies? Your babies.
No, I would never do that to the babies, just to the dude.
Yeah, she does it to me, everybody.
The babies would be half white, so it's like that wouldn't be fair.
I believe the words I said to you were, my beautiful queen.
Definitely not in
no,
the language.
Let me finish.
You never said
Can
that.
I even finish my story? So now look at the Bean Mafia. Now they're getting to see what's really going on. That Deric can't even finish his stories. Thank you. I said, my beautiful queen, mother of all that is good, Samantha Lopez. I'm sorry that I have not gotten the computer fixed yet, but I will. And I love you more than life itself. And then I believe I would give you a foot massage. Mm-hmm. Now, how do you remember it? And then I think I gave you money.
Okay. I don't know how all that could have possibly happened in 5 minutes while we're setting up the podcast.
Dude, 5 minutes is a long time, bro. Ask an open micer. But we're glad you're back.
Yeah, I'm so glad everyone's here.
We're glad you're back. The Bean Mafia is glad you're back. Everybody missed you, and we're, because Hassan doesn't wear socks, but you do, thank God.
Thank God. His feet are so gross.
Yeah. I like your little crab socks today.
Thank you. I have to wear socks because people have commented on my feet.
They want to see them.
They do want to see them.
And if you are going to show them, we should make money off of it.
I know. If you really want to see them, offer me like some serious cash. I have a credit card to pay off.
Yeah. And a computer to fix.
And Deric has a computer to fix.
Wait a minute. I thought we were on the same team.
If he doesn't fix his computer, I'm going to be purchasing my own. So I could use the cash.
Wait, I won't get to use yours?
No. You know why the computer needs to be fixed?
Wait,
you want to tell them why?
Hold on. How come this is our computer, but how come if I get anything, it's ours? But if you get anything,
I never said it was
yours.
Our computer. I said it's your computer. I've always called it your computer.
But you call it your bed.
That's because I purchased the bed.
What do you mean you purchased the bed?
You didn't even purchase this computer, and we call it your computer.
No, this is our computer. Just like this is our, these are our socks. This is our pot. This is our everything. I can't believe it. But when you get stuff, then it's yours.
Yeah.
Because you take better care? Is that what you're saying?
I guess that's probably
You take better care of your stuff?
The only reason I call it mine is because I'm the one caring for the thing. Does that make sense?
Is that what you're going to say about our children?
Yes, because I'll be the one caring for them.
Yeah, and I'll be the one making sure they have fun. The most important thing. Anyway, Sam.
Yeah.
Or should I call you Frank this episode?
Call me Frank. I've always wanted to be called Frank.
Well, that's who you're being. Frank.
My grandfather's name was Frank.
Wait.
My dad's dead.
Okay. I'm about to say, I know
Vincent.
I know Vince. Is it Vincent?
Well, that was Vincent's full name. Vince was for short.
And then V-Dub. V-Dubs if you know him.
V-Dubs if you know him real well.
If you know him really well. Guys, I'm glad you're back. I'm glad Sam's back. I'm sorry you had to see us fight. But we had to get a little physical. Sometimes that happens in a relationship.
You know what? If you haven't been watching this on YouTube and you missed the physical fight, you should go back and start this podcast over. Because in the beginning, when it seems like we're just having a rational conversation, I'm actually lashing him.
She does. But, you know, that's what happens in families. Families fight. All right? That's why we did that episode, Fighting with My Family. Literally to prove how that happens sometimes. You know what I mean? You know? And that's okay. And sometimes I'll yell at you guys, and sometimes I'm sure you'll yell at me. And we all call each other the N-word, and then we'll all give each other hugs.
And that's what families do.
And that's what families do, especially in Sam's house.
Especially at my house.
But that's not why we're here today, to talk about Samantha's racist family. That's many other episodes. Today...
Wait, why are we racist?
Huh?
Because we call each other the N-word?
No, because they didn't want you dating a black guy.
Oh, but
that
they
was
never
definitely the more
called you the
important
N-word.
thing.
We just call each other.
Samantha, that's really funny.
That's how you know he's not really a part of the family yet. They can't
Right.
call him the N-word.
Samantha, first off, if you don't know what Matthew calls me in his spare time, you don't know what your brother calls me. I have to. Today's episode is special. Can you look away from the computer?
Okay, I'm not looking. I'm sorry, I'm not supposed to cheat.
She's not supposed to. She's always trying to cheat and find out the episode.
I always want to know. I can't bear
I know you can't
to
bear
be surprised.
to just be surprised for 5 seconds. This woman, so much control needed in her life. That's why she's so pretty. But here we go. Today's episode is a brought to you by episode.
That's special.
This was a purchase episode. I have to look up the person's name. I'm sorry. I usually always know this, but I forgot my phone in the other room. Okay. But guys, today's episode is a brought to you by episode. And I'm really excited to do this one in particular because this episode, Mr. Antonio Carillo.
Antonio.
Of course you're fucking Mexican. Yo, of course. I could have guessed it. I could have guessed it because of the movie today, and I should have known it. But you're a beaner. You're a beaner.
You don't know that.
Huh?
He could be many things.
His name is Antonio, and this is how it's spelled. Antonio Carillo.
Yeah, he could be Argentinian. He could be Panamanian.
South of the border?
He could be Colombian.
Is he South?
He could be Portuguese, which is not even in this continent.
Sam, is he South?
That's north. Portugal.
What about all the other places?
Spain is also north.
Yo, I knew you were fucking Mexican, dog. I'm so glad you are. You're the fucking shit. Bro, my nigga, great movie choice. This is what's crazy about your movie choice. And I'm sorry to tell you this because it's too late now. You already did it. You paid $100 for something that I was going to tell Sam probably in the next couple months anyway. That's how good this movie is. He picked one of the best movies to come out in the last couple years.
But you wanted it to happen now.
He wanted it now. He was like, I'm not fucking waiting for
In
this
the last
fucking
couple
guy.
years, like in the last 5 years?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
It's one of the best movies to come out in the last 5 years. I would say that.
Okay, cool. With Mexican people in it?
It is.
Big Mexican cast?
I'm not going to say anything
Okay.
because it's Hollywood.
So, a bunch of white people that are pretending to be Mexican?
I'm just going to say it's an Oscar winner. And, you know, Hollywood makes decisions, Sam.
But they're the right decisions,
Thank
right?
you. If you want to win an Oscar. No, that's not.
No.
It's kind of true and not true. It's kind of like, I'm sure Antonio's
I'm
laughing
sure
like,
some of them are
yeah, you'll see.
like related to Mexican people.
God, sometimes the nail is just on the hammer, or
Okay.
however that saying goes. Sam,
The nail is just on the hammer.
Antonio picked an amazing movie today, and thank you for picking it, buddy. I fucking love this movie. Saw it in theaters right when it came out. Saw it in theaters twice.
Wait,
Was that good?
It came out in the last 5 years. You saw it in theaters twice without me?
It had to be 6 years in.
Okay.
It had to be 6 years. We weren't dating yet when this came out. You're right. It had to be 6 years.
You saw it in San Diego?
Yep.
That's where he was before I found him.
You found me there.
I found him there, and I elevated him to the man you know.
Samantha, oh my God. How much trouble am I in? Guys, this movie is so good. I thought it was 5 years, but you're right. It has to be 6 years because it had to come out right before I met you. Don't look. I'm going to look up when the movie came out.
I'm excited, Antonio. One, I like your name. One of my favorite names. Antonio. Not enough people are named Antonio anymore.
Wow. 2015, this movie came out.
Right before we met.
Right before, so yeah, right
Literally. Like, I might have been flying to San Diego to meet you.
When I saw this movie, don't look at the name, don't look at anything. All right. You ready?
Okay.
Samantha, I'm so excited. Antonio, you fucking brought a top flight movie to the Beaners today, dog, to the Bean Mafia. You brought some bean shit too, nigga. You brought some beans, you know what I mean? He actually brought some bean to the bean today.
Some to the bean dip.
He brought some bean dip to the Bean Mafia episode. You know what I mean? He really brought all the beans. Guys, Samantha, I'm so excited. This is a fucking movie, bro. I forgot how it ended. I saw it twice in theaters, and I still, when I watched it today, I was like, oh! You know what I mean? Like, oh, nigga. Okay. Sam, holy shit. Are you ready?
I kind of think I have an idea what this could be.
Probably. Can you tell me what happens in the Oscar-winning film that is fucking unbelievable, that you've never seen, that I'm about to tell you every motherfucking piece of, because that's what Spoil the Beans is about. Welcome to the episode. Sam, what happens in Sicario?
I knew it was going to be this movie. You said Mexican. You said last 5 years. I'm like,
an Oscar-winning.
And something I haven't seen.
Also, you've heard about. I know you've heard about this.
You've talked about showing me this movie for years.
This is one of the best movies I've seen in a long time.
And then we put it on the list to do, and he's like, now you can never see it.
Now you can never see it. and I love that Antonio said, not on my watch.
Thank you, Antonio. I've been waiting to see this movie, actually.
What happens in Sicario, Samantha Lee?
In my mind, it's No Country for Old Men, but just all Mexicans.
Go for it. That sounds, first off, hey, sounds awesome. Go for it. Also, in No Country for Old Men, there's a lot of Mexicans.
There are, but now we get rid of all the white people.
Like, let's go deeper.
Or at least we pretend the white people are Mexican. What's his face is in it, right? From No Country for Old Men? He's not in that? But I feel like he was in this movie. Really famous Latino guy.
Javier Bardem.
Javier Bardem. Is he in this movie?
I'm not saying anything, Sam.
Okay, so we're going to put him in the movie. Javier Bardem is...
It's around 2015, so this is when he was like really in everything too.
Yeah, he was having his run.
He's an unbelievable actor.
What was it like? He did Vicky Cristina Barcelona, and then it was like everything after that?
Yep, and then a bunch of stuff. This, and then...
That's another movie I've never seen.
The James Bond movie, he was an unbelievable villain in that. Where he was the gay villain.
He's a good bad guy.
Because he's gay. You remember that one where he's the gay? Have you seen that one?
I've never seen any James Bond movies.
Any of them?
I'm not...
Oh, the one he's in is the best one.
I think I get the idea of what it is.
His is cool though. His is like, it's different. Skyfall's that's the one.
That was the big one.
That was
Adele
so good.
did the song for that.
Yeah,
so.
see, that was the best one I've ever seen by far. Go ahead though.
Okay, so Antonio Bardem.
Javier.
You're
thinking of Antonio.
I'm trying to think
of Antonio got excited.
Good. You know what? We're gonna call him Antonio Bardem. He's a coke dealer, obviously.
Okay.
It's, you know what? We'll start off the movie. There's a bunch of women crossing the border.
Cool.
But legally, like it looks legal. Like, you know, they just got off a plane in Texas.
And they look like regular,
or California. And they look like regular
Mexican
things.
or white?
Mexican women.
But are they like Americanized Mexican? Like, you know what I mean? Where you would think they're like just a regular American women?
They're white Mexican women.
That's what I'm saying.
You know, not something. You know what I mean? Like, they're not indigenous peoples Mexican.
Yeah, they're American
like
Mexican.
European Mexicans. You know what I'm talking about?
American, yes. I've seen them.
So they both look like me, and they're coming off the plane, and then they both go into the bathroom, and then they shit out their balloons of cocaine.
Fuck yeah, this is a dope start to the movie.
Yes, that's how the movie starts, and then one of the girls like dies because like it exploded in her or something.
Damn, that's fucked up.
And that's how the movie starts. And then like that's like doesn't have really anything to do with the movie. That's just the catalyst that starts the movie. And then Javier Bardem. We'll just name his character Antonio for our Antonio's sake. Okay. Antonio finds out that his like whatever they call it, his what do they call it when they do that? His mules. His drug mule thing isn't going according to plan, so he has to come to America and deal with the fact that this girl died, and like the American police are involved, and then they have to kill like a bunch of people. But it's still just like kind of following him, like cleaning up this like drug mishap. But it's just like your average everyday like drug lord's problems to deal with, and that's like it's like a day in the life of being a drug lord kind of movie. You know what I mean?
But it's really like a lot of character. We see the character. That,
yeah, you follow him. It's like 24, but
okay, it's like movie. 24. This girl here, it's like, yo, you talking about with the fucking Kiefer Sutherland?
Yeah, it just starts with the countdown.
23. Okay. Wow. I will say this. You are 100% wrong.
Also, Javier Bardem, totally the Latino version of Kiefer Sutherland. Physically, they look very similar. Actor. Oh, physically.
Oh, okay.
They have the same body type, same age.
I guess.
Just one's Latin and one's...
One can act.
Super
Not
super
Kiefer
white.
can't act. Kiefer can
Kiefer can't act like that. Sorry,
is
Kiefer.
like a character. Like,
oh,
yeah. Like he's one of those rare character actors.
Yeah.
Anyway, you are 100% wrong.
Oh, yeah.
He's not in this movie.
He's not?
No.
Is this the one with Emily Blunt?
I'm not saying anything.
Okay.
Sam, you ready to hear Sicario?
Yeah.
I'm so excited to tell you this. But first, we got to pay some bills. Ooh. Bean Mafia, sit back. We'll be right back with the movie. Guys, Sam.
Yes?
Do you like Instagram?
I do like Instagram.
I see you scrolling on there.
I'm there every day.
Do you like NFL players?
You know what? I do like NFL players. Something about their masculinity and muscle tone draws me to them.
I also notice you like to see big, rough, tough NFL players be sweet fathers.
That's I really do enjoy that. Actually, I just like any tough guy being a sweet dad.
Yeah, you like to see. Well, when they're huge, it makes it the contrast is funny.
It's very cute.
Well, I have a guy who can deliver all those things.
The Rock?
Well, he doesn't play football in the NFL, does he?
Oh no, you're right. Who?
His name is Darren Bates. Have you heard of him?
Darren Bates? Tell me all about him.
Oh, my God, Sam. Well, he is a black NFL player with unbelievable skin, and he is an amazing person, an amazing human being, an amazing father, and he's the president of this podcast. And all he wants you to do, very simple.
Yeah.
Simple request. He doesn't want money from you. He doesn't want you to buy any of his products. He doesn't want any of that. He just wants you to follow him on Instagram.
That's it?
Literally.
He just wants me to look at pictures of his beautiful skin every day?
That's it. At WestonSon_56, you get to see him being an amazing dad.
What?
You get to see him riding horses. You get to see him doing all kinds of fun NFL and playing in the NFL. There's also pictures of that.
I get to see all of that just for following him?
And he has an amazing podcast. Do you like podcasts?
I love podcasts. Are they about sports?
They are about sports. But he also interviews other people, too.
What is it?
He has comedians on there. He had the guy who sang all the songs in the original Lion King on there. He gets all kinds of people on there. It's called The Raw Room, Sam.
Oh, that sounds like a great podcast.
Should they subscribe?
100%. If you listen to podcasts like this one.
Wherever you're listening to this one, you hit pause, you hit that search bar, Raw Room, and you subscribe to our boy Darren Bates. DARENBATES, The Raw Room Podcast. Darren Bates on all social media. Show him some love and tell him what, Sam, when you get there.
Tell him the Bean sent you.
That's all you got to do. Send him. He doesn't want anything from you. Just send him a message. Tell him the Bean sent you. Sam, I noticed you're wearing a T-shirt.
I am wearing a T-shirt. It's actually a tank top, but...
It is a tank top, but I noticed you like to cover your boobs.
I do. I don't really like them just out and about.
Well, we have lots of female listeners, and I'm assuming they like their boobs covered as well.
I can't speak for all women.
Can't speak for all women, but the ladies who are listening who do want their boobs covered, do I have a place that can cover boobs for you? Hidden Village Customs.
Wait, they make something that will cover my boobs?
Dude, they make the best shit that'll cover your boobs. And I know you're ladies, you're like, oh, do they make bras? No. They make cool T-shirts.
To put over your bra.
That's right.
Unless you don't wear a bra, and we're okay with that too.
That is okay. Your nipples can be flowing under the shirt. I'm pretty sure Hidden Village Customs also approves that message.
Actually, if you take a picture of yourself wearing one of the Hidden Village shirts without a bra, I bet he'd post it on his Instagram.
Tag Spoil the Beans. Tag Hidden Village Customs. www.hiddenvillagecustoms.com. Sam, they make amazing shirts. Do you own a couple of their shirts?
I have several of their shirts. I actually sad I'm not wearing one today.
Oh, dang.
They're fun.
I got a couple messages from the Beans literally saying how they can't wait to get their Hidden Village Custom shirts because of your endorsement saying that when you washed and dried them, the logo didn't fade.
It doesn't fade. It stays on really nice. And I do put it through the dryer because I'm lazy and I don't like to hang things up. So
Yep. So that is a endorsement from Sam Lopez herself, washer, dryer, Mexican person who cleans things. She knows what she's talking
I always
about.
wash my clothes.
Guys, Hidden Village Customs, www.hiddenvillagecustoms.com. They make amazing, cool shirts mixed with anime logos, mixed with NFL stuff, NBA stuff, and just all kinds of sports icons and all kinds of amazing television shows and movie characters. And they're like spliced together. It's really cool.
We're in
Hoodies,
some of them.
T-shirts. They make some of them for us with Spoil the Beans on it. Guys, go check them out. www.hiddenvillagecustoms.com. Go show them some motherfucking love.
Tell Gabe we said hi.
Tell Gabe we said hi.
And tell him the bean sent you.
Guys, also, if you like to smoke weed and you like to smoke what Deric smokes, like I just hit some weed outside, Happy Canary. Literally. Social media, Happy Canary, HappyCanary. I get my weed from Maine. That's how I live my life now.
Who'd have thought?
Who'd have thought?
It's really good, though.
It's the best fucking shit I've ever had. Best weed in
Honestly.
the world from Maine, Happy Canary. That's where Deric gets his weed. Tell him what, Sam?
The bean sent you.
Send my boy Hayden the message. Say the bean sent you. Happy Canary. Show him some love. Samantha, are you ready
Yeah, I'm ready.
for the film today? I mean,
There's something here.
I got something.
Let
in
me
my
get
mouth.
it. Let me. It's like a string. Okay.
Is it your hair?
It's definitely my hair. That's
Oh,
what
your
I
hair.
didn't
You
want
get
to
it?
let everyone know, but it's my hair. Yeah, you got it.
Sam's a hairy lady.
Sometimes I shed.
Sometimes she does.
I know it seems like living with me would just be an absolute dream,
It is.
but it's actually a hairy dream.
And she snores. I know you wouldn't believe that.
It's loud.
It's crazy.
It's a loud dream.
It's pretty loud, intense dream. But it's fun.
Jeffrey has to have a sound machine to keep the snoring out.
Jeffrey Berner's right here.
From his-
Jeffrey, you want to come show your face? Say hi.
Say hi, Jeffrey.
You
You have to lean in more.
There, you're in there now.
Hello.
Show them your mug.
You have to show it up close.
Not really solid, but-
Anyway, that was
Dead air.
that was
right,
our
that
moment
was
with
fun.
Jeffrey Berner, and I hope you're listening
Thank
to
you,
this
Jeffrey.
podcast. Even
That's all.
funnier to the people listening. Samantha, are you ready to hear this movie?
I'm so ready.
It sucks that you never got to see this. This was such a big movie when it came out. Blockbuster, critically, it was amazing. Rated R. I mean, this is such a good movie. The man who won the Oscar for this movie very much deserved it.
Who won the Oscar?
I'll tell you when we get there. You ready?
Okay. Who wrote the movie?
The director and writer is a guy named. Excuse me. Don't look. I'll tell you. Don't look at anything. You don't look at anything. You just sit there and be pretty, Sam. Don't look. Just be pretty.
I need to sing.
The director is the Dennis Villeneuve guy. You know who that is?
No.
He's done some dope shit. He's the guy who did Arrival.
Oh, that's a great
And
movie.
he's the guy who did Prisoners.
Oh, that movie fucked me up.
Are you ready for Sicario? This is his best. And I love Prisoners, but this is his best movie. This is his best movie by far.
Yeah, I'm ready. It's just
I'm
this
gonna
is
pull
gonna
this
be like a serious movie with repercussions. You know, like people are gonna die, and I'm ready.
You ready?
I'm emotionally there.
Movie starts. Intense ass, like a muffled kind of heartbeat noise. Like. We see words come up on the screen. The word Sicario comes from the zealots of Jerusalem, killers who hunted the Romans who invaded their homeland. In Mexico, Sicario means hitman. The words fade away. Okay. We see a neighborhood, like a regular family neighborhood. Chandler, Arizona. We were just near there.
How far is it from your parents?
Remember, that's where my brother and Natalie want to move to. It's like right in
Yo, that's like right there.
between. I know. All right, Chandler, Arizona. Remember, so you know.
Have they seen this movie?
Huh?
Have they seen this?
I don't know if they've seen this movie.
Okay.
But you can see what the neighborhoods look like. You know, where
I
my
know.
brother and them live. That same kind of neighborhood. That
Little
kind of
houses
those-
on the hillside, little houses made of ticky tacky, the kind of vibe, like everything's the same.
Yes. So the camera pans back. You see SWAT team coming all around outside one of the houses, like sneaking up, right? Guns in hand, everything. You see snipers on the roof, all that shit. Inside the house, we see a motherfucker watching TV. Like you hear, oh my God, you know, it's all my key. Like just somebody, like people talking Spanish and shit, right? we see our lead in the back of a SWAT car. That shit's moving fast as hell. She looks nervous as shit. They show her face. Emily Blunt.
Babe,
bro. She's so fucking good in this.
she's good in everything.
She's so good. But this, Sam, woo, nigga. Because oh my God. So she looks over. She's like, the car's going. She's got the fucking, gun in hand. She looks over at her partner. It's the dude from Get Out.
The main guy?
Daniel Kaluuya.
Oh, yeah. The guy who gives up T'Challa.
The guy who's the bitch-ass nigga in fucking...
I will never forget that moment.
But you know what's so funny? He's that second to me. He's Get Out first to me. That's who he is first, because that character is the best character by far.
Well, also, Get Out, he's the main character.
Well, and he destroys that role.
I've just seen...
We've seen Black Panther
We've seen
way
Black
more.
Panther like 27 times.
Nobody's watching Get Out 27 times.
No, that's true.
It's fucking disturbing.
But I can't just... it's like what he did in Black Panther was so wrong. There's nothing he can do in another movie that will let me forgive him.
Well, also, we haven't seen the new movie of his yet that I really want to see, the Black Messiah.
I do really want to see that.
I've heard that because he won the Oscar for that, and I've heard it's unreal.
You said I'm not allowed to watch that one either for
I know I want to see it. Well, I haven't seen that one myself though, so it's not fair to do that to you.
Maybe someone should buy it. Mm-hmm.
All right, maybe we'll just rent it and watch it.
Maybe we should buy it. Yeah,
or maybe somebody out there will buy it.
That's what I was saying.
Oh, that's
what I meant.
We'll wait and see. But he is great. All right, so he's her partner in this. All right.
Okay.
So already the cast is like, damn.
Yeah.
Right?
He must have been like, because this is before Get Out.
Yep.
This must have been like his first thing.
Had to be. That Black Mirror was the first thing that I heard of him being released.
But Black Mirror started coming out when we were together, so that might have been like the thing that put him on the map.
This could have been. So they're driving fast as hell to this house, right? Mm-hmm. They're both like looking at each other. And then, bro, this big ass SWAT truck goes through the house, just drives straight through. Boom! It's like through the back, right? Flash grenade! Boom! You see the Mexican dude like, he drops to the ground. Yeah, don't move! Where are the hostages? Where are the fucking hostages? Where are they? Down the hall. The SWAT team starts going down the hallway and shit, right? They go one room, boom, open it up. Emily Blunt's the one, like she's leading the team. Uh-huh. She's clearly the leader. You know what I mean? She goes in the room, clear. She goes to the second door, boom, kicks it open, goes to another room. Right as she walks in, a dude has a shotgun and shoots the fucking thing. I mean, he missed like this, let's say the shotgun hole's like right here. Her head's like right here.
It's like some Pulp Fiction kind of situation.
She falls to the ground, puts like 4 bullets in the guy, right? And she's like, fuck, just yelling to herself, right? It's quiet for a second, and then her dude from Get Out runs in. He's like, you hit? She's like, I'm good. She gets up, she checks the dude that she shot. He's dead. They go, Macer, you okay? That's her name, Macer, Kate Macer. Mm-hmm. All right? She's like, yeah. She's like, man, why the fuck would he shoot at me? No one's here. The Get Out dude starts looking around. He looks at, the shotgun hole in the wall. He looks at it. He's like, whoa, what the fuck? The music gets real intense.
It's all on the walls.
Right? They start tearing away the wall. You see all 3 of them tearing away the wall. And then they all back up and they all go, like the smell hits them. It's just tortured dead bodies wrapped in plastic bags in the wall.
Oh!
Cut to them all outside throwing up. It's just, you just hear them throwing up. Like, it's so quiet, right?
Yeah.
So Emily Blunt is talking. She's like, yo, that is not what we came for. That's some other shit. Like, I don't know what the fuck that was, right?
Yeah. Like, this is bigger than what we thought it was.
Oh, yeah. Because remember, they came there looking for hostages.
Yeah.
Right? So they start going through the house. Sam, there's dead bodies. Like, so now there's like all kinds of teams of DNA people, and there's dead bodies. Every inch of the house is a dead, like, you know what I mean?
Every wall is.
It's like it's like a filing cabinet of dead, tortured bodies.
How did they? What are the walls like drywalled over? Like, who has the time to do that?
I don't know. Fucking people who have money like this.
Yeah, I guess so.
Billions of dollars.
Don't you just like incinerate these bodies?
Yeah, it's such an easier. You think there'd be an easier way?
There's so many easier ways. Why are you holding on to them? Unless it's like trophies.
So, I'm glad you asked, Sam, because this is also the same. This isn't like like John Wick style movie. Like, this movie feels real.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? This is like the day in the life of a person who is actually going up against the cartel. You feel what I'm saying?
It is a day in the life movie.
Yes, it is.
I was 91%. I was 1% right.
You were 99%
incorrect.
But that's the kind of vibe you're getting, all right?
Yeah.
Like that's what makes it real. It makes it more intense. Like even when she shot the dude and like how real it was, how she almost got shot. It was like, or the way the SWAT team looks like. You feel what I'm saying? It's very real, all right?
Visceral.
So, it's very visceral. So her higher ups come up to the house, right? And she's showing them through the house, and it's intense. And so many bodies and shit. And one of the higher up dudes is like, "How many total so far?" And they're like, one of the DNA people is like, "Man, we're at 40 already, and we haven't even checked the whole house yet."
40?
40.
That's so many.
All right. They go, "This house is." She goes, "This house owned by Manuel Diaz." No, they ask her. One of the higher ups goes, "Is this house owned by Manuel Diaz?" And she goes, "No way to connect him to it, but I'm sure he does." Right? And they're like, "Jesus Christ." And then her partner from the Get Out dude, he's like about to throw up again. It's just, this is like disgusting.
40 bodies. That would be really overwhelming.
And she's like, "Go ahead, step out." So he steps out and he's like almost throwing up. There's cops outside looking at this shed. They find a lock. They're like, "Yo, we found something. Need bolt cutters." Inside, you see Emily in their perspective. They're like, "Oh, I think they found something outside." They all start walking towards them, right? So you see her perspective as they're walking towards outside. Boom! The shed blows up everybody outside. Boom, like it blows everybody inside the house back. They all fall. You know what I mean? She gets up. She's like, dust everywhere.
Yeah.
She starts walking, right? She heads outside. She sees her partner, dude from Get Out. He's still alive.
Okay.
He's also on the ground, like, you know what I mean? She keeps walking. She sees another agent like crawling towards her, skin all fucking gone, legs off.
Oh.
And she's like, her eyes get big like this. It cut to she's in the shower, getting the blood off of her face.
Yeah.
Like like the way it's coming off, bro. She's just like, you know what I mean? Like just kind of trying to panic to get it off. She patches her head up. Her head's kind of bleeding a little bit. She patches it up. She sits in the bathroom and she's like, relax. Just relax. Right?
Ooh.
So it's all over the news what happened, saying that it's cartels and we can't believe it happened in America's heartland right here in Arizona, you know what I mean, and all this shit, right? Her and you find out the Get Out dude, his name's Reggie. All right, so her and Reggie, they're waiting outside like a headquarters, like a big office headquarters, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And they're like, damn, what the fuck's going on? They both don't know why they're waiting, you know what I mean? Inside the meeting room, we see our other lead.
There's 3 leads? Oh, wait, she's
the lead.
Yeah.
We see our other, Daniel Kaluuya he's not a lead, he's a side character.
Okay.
We see our other lead.
Uh-huh.
There's 3 leads though.
Okay.
What?
Thanos.
He was in No Country for Old Men.
He is in No Country for Old Men. That's why, but you weren't thinking of him when you said it was so funny. But he is in this. He's the other lead in this.
Isn't there another movie like this though, or by like the same director that Javier Bardem is in?
Probably.
Okay,
I don't know.
sorry.
I'd have to look it up. I'd have to look that up, but probably.
It's like, what am I mixing it up with?
So, our boy Josh Brolin, he's sitting there, right? And he's in like flip flops and like casual shorts and shit, and he's got like shades on. Mm-hmm. And he's hearing about.
What's happening?
No, he's hearing about Emily Blunt's whole career. He wants to hear everything.
Okay.
He's hearing about everything she's ever done. He's listening to it. He's taking it all in. And she's been killing it so far. She's still new.
She's telling him.
No, like the remember they're outside. Her and the black dude from Get Out are outside waiting.
Okay.
And they're like, what the fuck's going on? Like, why are we sitting here waiting?
Yeah.
Inside, they're discussing their careers.
Okay.
And they're telling it to the Josh Brolin guy, who's clearly even higher up. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And they're telling him like, she's a new person. She's like a rook, but she's been killing it so far. And then they tell him the black dude's whole background, who's also been killing it so far, the Daniel Kaluuya guy, but he was a lawyer. He was a lawyer before he was a detective. All right, like before he got into the service and like became like all this shit. Because they're both FBI agents. Like that's what they do. Her and the dude, but they work for the kidnapping division in the cartel. Like that's their job.
Yeah.
Also, how crazy is it that it's that specific? The roles and like jobs that there's that many.
That makes sense. I mean, like think about how many law and orders there are.
I knew you were about to say that.
But no, okay, so I'm more curious. Is like I didn't know that that's a route you could take. You could be a lawyer, and I guess you'd have to like start all over again on some level.
Bro,
you have to go. You still have to go to cop school or whatever, the police academy.
Like all that shit, and like they're outside in the field, so they're really tactical.
So you would theoretically also have to work your way up from doing like a desk job or like kind of like a junkie cop job to that, right? I don't know how else you get into that.
I don't know. These people are like ex-military.
Yeah.
So it's already like they go military lawyers. Like it's different. You know what I mean?
They probably scout for people to join.
I mean, you see what he's doing, Josh Brolin. So he literally says, when the guy they say used to be a lawyer, he goes, no lawyers. He's like, I don't need no fucking lawyers on this one. Just the girl. All right. So back outside, you see their homeboy. They're nervous. They walk up. Like one of the guys walks up and he goes, Kate, we need you to step inside. So she gets up. She does. And then the guy looks at her. He goes, quite a find today. Sorry you lost 2 officers. And she's like, yeah, we didn't want to, but like she says, like some cop jargon,
Yeah.
And then Josh Brolin goes, how well do you know this Manuel Diaz? And she goes, I know he works for the Sonora cartel. He's one of their senior members here in the United States. And then Josh Brolin goes, what about his brother, Guillermo? You know about him? She's like, no, I don't know about him. And then she goes, or his cousin? And he says like another guy's name. And she's like, no, I don't know about him. And then he starts asking her more like cartel questions. She's like, yo, whoa. She's like, I don't know any of that stuff. She's like, I work just for kidnap response. I don't do narcotics. And then Brolin goes, you married? She's like, no, divorced. You got kids? She goes, no. He smiles real big.
Yeah, now he doesn't have to worry.
And she goes, anything else? He goes, nope, wait outside. So she goes back outside, right? Inside, she sees like now her and Get Out dude are kind of looking at each other like, what the fuck is going on, right? Inside, you see them talking more. The other higher ups leave. Now it's just Josh Brolin and 2 other dudes in the room, right? The other guys walk out. They ask Kate to come back in again now. All right. So they go, Kate, this is Matt Graver. All right. That's a Josh Brolin's name. They didn't tell her name until you're right. And so they go, he's leading a team pursuing Mr. Diaz. You'll act as his liaison if you accept the job. They need an agent like you from the FBI, but with tactical experience like you have. You'll be a part of his team. And then Brolin says, hey, we're going to go see Diaz's brother, Guillermo. That's where we're going. She said, where is he? He goes, he's in El Paso. And then she goes, okay, what's our objective? He smiles and he goes, to dramatically overreact. And her eyes kind of go. And
What's that mean?
Right? And then her eyes get big. And then she looks over at the other 2 dudes in suits. And they go, we need you to understand, Miss Mercer. To accept this job, you have to volunteer. You have to state that you volunteer to do this job. Do you understand? Do you see what they're asking her? Like, yo, to do what we're asking you to do, you have to say you wanted to do it.
Yeah.
We need you to say out loud that you volunteered for this team that because we couldn't, whatever this is, we're not going to say it's him, but we couldn't put this on any agent
Okay.
But if you volunteer, you volunteer.
Yeah.
That's why he said, I need to state again what you were volunteering for, ma'am. This is some straight up real government shit, like how they would do it for real. You know what I mean? So he's like, you understand? And then she's like, well, if I do I get a shot at the men responsible for today for killing my men? And then Brolin says, you'll get a shot at the men really behind it. And she goes, okay, I volunteer. Here we go. Nogales, Mexico. Nogales.
Nogales.
All right.
I wonder where that is.
A boy, you see a little boy, young boy, like probably like 10. He wakes his father. Papa, wake up. He's speaking in Spanish. Like, we need to go to my soccer match.
That's so cute.
And then the dad wakes up. He's like, ah. And the dad messes. He's like, you play soccer? He's like, sí, papa, sí. I play soccer. He laughs. He's like, okay.
Wait, this is all in English?
Let's go. No, he's saying it in Spanish. I'm saying
it in
English.
It's like, so you subtitles.
All right. So he goes and he tells his mom, the little boy's all excited. He's like, Mama, Papa's coming to my game today, right? And she's like, oh, that's good, mijo. So they all sit there and eat breakfast. You see the wife staring angrily at the father. He's pouring himself a shot of whiskey. He's staring angrily back at the wife. But he's sweet to his kid. All right? Cut to, he puts on his police uniform. Him and his son head off.
Huh.
Okay? Cut back to. Yo, this movie's so good. Cut back to. Reggie drops his homie, the black guy from Get Out.
Yeah.
He drops his homie Emily Blunt off at the Air Force Base where she's meeting the team.
Yeah.
All right? And, he's letting her know, like, hey, I don't trust that Brolin guy. He's kind of weird. Just be careful. Like, I don't know what this kind of job is, but this shit seems weird, right? They tell him, like, yo, you're not allowed in, just her. She's like, it's all good. She's like, I'll call you when I get back. He's like, all right. He drives off. They take her to a private jet, like on an airfield, like a nice private jet, like a G6. She's like, what the fuck? She's looking at it. Brolin's sitting there waiting for her. And then she's like, damn, this is what we taking this? And he's like, yep, only the best for you. She looks over as she's walking on the plane. She sees another guy in a white suit looking like off. Okay? She kind of just looks at him for a second, and then she gets on the plane.
Is he in a regular? Is he in a regular white suit, or is it like a white suit, like a military kind of like
White suit, like a regular white suit. You know what I'm saying? He looks good.
Okay.
Like some Versace shit. You know what I mean? Like he looks like
like he's about to like film a rap album or something.
Yeah, he looks nice. So he's she looks at him. She gets on the plane. Brolin immediately goes and lays down on like one of the nice couches and like falls asleep. Right. Mm-hmm. The other man walks in.
White suit guy.
Yeah, it's our other lead. Oscar winning for this.
Oh, he's the one who won the Oscar.
Benicio del Toro.
Which one's Benicio del Toro?
Sam, he's the collector in all the Avengers movies. In all the Marvel movies.
Oh, that guy.
He's also one of the great actors of all time. He's in The Usual Suspects. He's in like everything.
No, I know who he is. I know the name. I just was like, what's his face?
Yeah. Well, he is the Oscar winner in this.
He wins the Oscar for this movie?
Oh, Sam. Oh my God. This is some of the best acting I've ever seen in my entire life.
Does he look like a drug pin kind of the suit on, or is he like working for the government? Are we gonna find out? We can't.
Sam, I'm dead. You don't know if he looks like a cop, a cartel member, an agent. Like he's just deadpan. All right, he's got shades on.
Does he have that like kind of spiky hairy sometimes?
A little bit. You want to see what he?
Yeah, tell me, show me what he looks like.
I'll show you what he looks like in this, so that way you can see him.
I know what he looks like.
No, but in this. All right. Sorry, people who are watching.
This is important. Oh.
He has his hair like this in this. You see?
Yo, they make him look hot in this.
All right, but you can't see.
He's kind of old, isn't he?
Yeah, you can't see it. There's none of the pictures of him in the white suit. It's just all in tactical gear. But you see what he looks like.
Yeah, I see
all right?
what you're saying.
You see his eyes.
Uh-huh.
So she looks at him. They're staring at each other. And she gets up and she introduces herself. And then he doesn't say anything. He just kind of sits back down. And he goes, "Ever been to Juarez?" Like in English. And then she says, "I thought we were going to El Paso." And then she turns and looks at Josh Brolin, who's laying down. She's like, "We're going to El Paso, right?" And he's got his cap over his face like this. And he goes, just like this. He goes, yeah, El Paso. And now she gets nervous. You know what I mean? She's like,
what did I sign up for?
what the fuck did I just volunteer for? You know what I'm saying? The plane takes off, right? She's looking at Brolin. He's asleep. She's still awake on the plane. She's looking at Benicio. He's asleep, but his hand is shaking. His hand's doing like this as he's asleep.
Yeah, because he's like almost lost his life probably a bajillion times.
And then he wakes up like this. He's like, "Ah!" And then she's like, "Fuck!" Right? It scares the shit out of her, right? She's like, "Oh shit, you okay?" And he calms himself and he's like, "Fine." And so she goes, "So is this your specialty? Cartels in Mexico?" And then he goes, "Yeah." Just like that, like nonchalant. And then she goes, "Any tips? Anything I should know?" And then he goes, "You're asking me how a watch works. For now, keep an eye on the time." And then she's like, she does just like that. She goes, "Okay." She's so good, bro. She's like, "All right." You know, they land. Brolin sees a homie of his who, I don't know if you remember, remember the movie Hitch?
Yeah.
Okay, but I know you remember the dude in Hitch who's the bad guy. He's the guy who's just trying to get pussy, who kind of like ruins
and like
everything.
Hitch doesn't
take the job.
Doesn't take the job from him. And then he's the one that gives out like his card to people.
Yes.
And like, which also is like, why are you passing out a card?
Doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense why he's passing out a card if he wants it to be so fucking secret.
You want to be such a secret.
Wouldn't it just be a private number you have to call him?
Yeah,
Like you have to get you have to
hear
the number.
People have to tell you. Yeah.
Like people have to memorize the number. It is what it is. But it's him.
That guy, yeah.
It's that
I
actor,
remember
right?
that guy. Douchey guy.
Yeah, douchey guy. In this, he's a cooler dude. It's him and Josh Brolin are cool.
Okay.
They're like they're boys. They know each other. Who do it right. He picks him up. He sits in the front. Benicio and homegirl sit in the back. They talk about like linking up, their team for their mission, and like they're really excited for this mission. Who do it right. You like her and Benicio aren't saying anything back, but the two boys in the front, Brolin and the other dude, clear like meatheads. Mm-hmm. Like they're pumped up for whatever this mission is. You know what I mean? So in a room, they get to a room, huge team. They all like huge SWAT teams, right? And they go over what they're going to be doing. Apparently, they're making an exchange. They're picking up a dude from a Mexican prison, bringing him to an American prison.
Okay.
All right. And the dude they're picking up is the Guillermo dude from the cartel. And they talk of how dangerous this mission is, and like it's so realistic, like the way they're setting it up and shit, and like how they're doing it. And they go, yo, anyone, mostly you spot anyone, just so you know, anyone on this trip that isn't us, that is outside of this room, is a potential shooter. So be alert, be vigilant, and be aware. Let's go. They all head out, right? Benicio, while everybody else heads out the room, Benicio just sits there texting. Okay? She's sitting there looking at him, and she says, have you ever been over there? And then he's like, yeah, I used to work in Juarez. She goes, what, for the DEA? He goes, no. She goes, well, for who? He goes, I was a prosecutor. She goes, you're not American. He goes, no. She goes, well, who do you work for now? He goes, I go where I'm sent. And she goes, from where? And he goes, Colombia. And she goes, what? Right? She's like all confused. And he goes, listen. Nothing will make sense to your American ears, and you will doubt everything we do. But in the end, you will understand. And he walks off. And she's just like, what the fuck is going on, nigga? You know what I mean? So Josh Brolin, right when she's like all confused, he walks in, he throws a bulletproof vest at her. It's like, here you go. She gets mad. She's like, yo, what is this shit? What is going on? Nobody's telling me anything. Nobody's giving me straight answers. I don't know what we're doing here. And then, he's like, well, do you want to go home? Go home. She's like, no, I just want to know what I'm doing here. He goes, you know what you're doing here. Everything you were doing against the cartel with your little kidnap things, you weren't doing shit. You weren't stopping them. The cartel is doing shit in this country that you can't fathom. You want to get the guys really responsible for the people who killed your men? We start here. Do you want to help? And she's like, yes. And he's like, well, try that on. He walks off. Bro, this is what makes it so scary in her position, is that they're not telling you what the mission is.
Also, you don't know if you're the good guys.
You don't know anything.
There is this sort of back feeling in the back of her mind, like I'm feeling it, like, are we doing the right thing here? Like, I don't know who Guillermo is. This is just the guy that you told me about, who's apparently doing bad stuff.
And also, you told me we were going to El Paso, and now we're here in Mexico. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you're her, you're like, yo, bro, whoa, yo.
You gotta I gotta call my mom and let her know who I am.
So cut to, we see the long-ass border wall. Camera pans up. We see Mexico, right? Helicopters coming in. We see them coming in. They're like 5 black SUVs. They're all driving. They're flying. They're like in like a row, like some bees or some shit. You know what I mean? Like that, right? And she's sitting next to Benicio in the back. They come up on a sign, Juarez, Mexico. Right? They head in. When they get into Mexico, they fly right, like they go through the border. They fly right in. To get in it, there's no wait at all. Nothing. But you see as they're going in, as the camera pans back, you see the traffic to get into America.
Oh, yeah.
As you insane. Like 8 lanes all full of cars miles back. Just, you know what I mean? But to get in, they just flew right in. All right? But you can see, like, which they said in the meeting, the getting back is going to be the problem. Getting there is nothing. Getting back is where they'll try to do something, right? So they keep driving. You see right when they get in, right when they pull into Mexico, a Mexican police escort starts escorting them as well. Like all these Jeeps, right? So as they're driving, Benicio looks over to our girl and he goes, welcome to Juarez. And she looks up and she sees like from the freeway, there's like 4 mutilated bodies just like hanging from ropes.
Oh my God.
You know? She's like, what the fuck, right? And then the other cop, the dude from Hitch, he goes, remember what you asked earlier of like, why would they keep this? Trophies? He goes, it's brilliant what they do here. God, it's like, he's saying it like this too, like casual. God, it's so brilliant what the cartel does. You know, when they mutilate a body like that? Because what it really does is it makes people think, well, they must have been involved or they must have done something bad to have that happen to him. And he just starts laughing. He goes, boy, it's brilliant what they do.
Yo.
It's just to scare people, Sam.
Of course it's just to scare people.
So when that house does get found, you know what's up. That's why they keep the bodies.
Well, also...
Cartel, huh?
Jeez.
Yeah, I know. I'm sorry.
Well, because it's not just one; it's like several. There's several different like cartels?
Oh, but we're
and
gonna
they
get
all
into that
like
too.
kind of govern the country in some ways because they bought out half of the cops.
Talking about our country or their country?
Probably both.
Yeah, I know, right? Sam, remember everything you're saying because it has something to do with this. It comes back into play later. That's how good this movie is. So everything you just said about, there's multiple cartels and they run it all right and they're probably doing both kinds. Remember all that. Remember how we don't know anything about what Josh Brolin really does or who he is? You don't know anything about who he is or what he really is. You don't know.
Okay, don't tell me anymore. I want to find out.
So, cut to, they hear gunshots ahead, all the SUVs. They all stop abruptly. The Mexican cops tell them, yo, they have to adjust the route. There's activity ahead. So they start driving fast as hell again. The SUVs get to a prison. They fly in, right? All the other people get out the SUVs, head inside. Emily and Benicio just wait in the truck. And then she's all, you can see, he looks at her. She's like, she's nervous. And he goes, nothing will happen here. If they try anything, it'll be at the border. And then it's quiet. And he looks, and he's looking at like the Mexican police outside. And he goes, keep an eye out for the state police. Not always the good guy around here. Right? And she's like, okay, you know. The cops bring out a dude with a bag over his head. They put him in the SUVs. Poof, they start flying again.
Yeah.
They take off, right? They start heading back towards the border, right? As they're driving, the dude from Hitch goes, spotter vehicle on the left. So you see like a couple, like a street over. Like imagine like there's a street here and then, you know.
There's a parallel street. Yeah.
You see a car keeping up with them.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they're like, all right. And then like, oh shit, spotter on the left. And he's like, oh, I'm getting a fucking boner. You know what I mean? And then she goes, all right, getting nervous, getting eyes on the rooftop, eyes on rooftops. Everybody looks calm. Benicio just has his shades on. He's just sitting there. He hasn't moved at all yet. So they get to the border. They hit the traffic. You hear on the radio, everyone stay frosty. Helicopters above them ahead say, hey, there's a car that broke down up ahead. It's being sorted out. Just stand by. We're getting you guys a lane to get past this.
Yeah.
All right? But they're already near the border, right? So they're just inching their way. Emily is nervous as shit, and now she's looking out her window in every car. Because now they're surrounded by traffic.
Yeah, so you don't know who's in these cars.
So they're just looking at every car. And every car looks like a normal people, right? They're looking. She's eyeing people. So is Benicio. He's doing the same thing. And then he goes, Red Impala. And he goes, get your weapon out. So everybody, right? 2 lanes over, you see this Red Impala. And it's just some tatted up Mexican niggas. And they're like, they all look serious as fuck.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And they're like, Roger that, Roger that. And then they go, all right. And then another guy goes 3 lanes left, green Civic. Same thing, some cartel-looking niggas, right? Benicio cocks his shit, and he rolls his window down, okay? He kind of looks through his scope. He notices they all strapped up in both those cars. And then he goes, all right, they all got guns. And then you hear over the radio, somebody like a higher up goes, we must be engaged to engage. Again, we must be engaged to engage. Benicio goes, permission to get out of the vehicle. And they go, no, stay in your vehicle. Stay in your vehicle. They get out, then you get out. He goes, okay. You see all of them unlock all their doors at the same time.
The cops or the other guys?
The cops, because they already want to get out.
Yeah, they're dying to
They're saying, think about this, because also it's like, I don't want them to get the drop on me. If anybody's going to start shooting first,
it's going to be me.
It's going to be me. So you see, we see in the car, they show the inside of the Mexican car, and all them niggas got guns too. You see, like, they're holding them down like this, right? And then over the radio, you hear, get ready, get ready. The Mexican niggas are all locked and loaded. Right then, you see one of the Mexican niggas, like, he's tatted up dude, like, got a red shirt on. He gets out of his car. And then you hear over the thing, somebody tells Benicio, because Benicio already starts, like, right when Benicio sees him move, he's like, he's out.
Yeah.
And then they're like, wait. And Benicio tells everybody else, move. And he looks at Emily and he goes, get out the car, right? And she goes, oh, wait. And she freezes. She doesn't do anything. All right. Everybody else runs over to the car, right? Everybody, all the red niggas, all the gangster niggas get out the Red Impala, and they already got their guns on them. They go, freeze, right? And then Benicio goes, no, calmate. And the dude's like, he doesn't know what to do. He's like, don't shoot. And then Benicio starts talking to him in Spanish. He goes, do you want to die? Calm. And the guy's like, and then he goes to try to shoot Benicio, and Benicio, they kill all 4 of them. And then the other car, the green Civic, they light them niggas up too. And then Emily's like, what the fuck are we doing? What the fuck? Like, and she's like, this is...
Yeah, they didn't engage.
This is not what the fuck is going on. The fuck is going on, right?
Also, this is what's going through my head. If I saw this movie, I would never go to Mexico. Not because I'm afraid of going to Mexico. I'd be afraid of coming back to America.
It's hard.
Because you're waiting in line, and I know there's traffic to get back into America either way.
And shit happens.
And let something like that happen.
Because they're all just straight up families there, right?
Yo, there's people who just like
on
went
vacation
to Tijuana to like screw some hookers and then are coming, well,
and
not there, but
flying.
In other places.
In Juarez or whatever. They went down to Juarez, but there are people that went from because it's a Texas Juarez border, so it's that close.
Okay.
So, you know what I mean? She's like, fuck, right? And what are we doing? Her gun out. She's in the car. She's all terrified. She's watching everything. As she's looking around, she looks in the left side rearview mirror. And she sees one of the cops walking up behind her car with like a gun.
One of the
like,
Mexican cops?
Yeah. And she's like, what the fuck? And she turns, and as she turns, the guy shoots, and he misses. Bam! She puts one in his head. And she's like, fuck! You know? And then the car starts driving off. They pick up Benicio. This nigga pops the trunk, just hops in the back and keeps his eye like this. They fucking drive. They get into Mexico, like they get into Texas. They get into the prison that they're going to. They get the guy out. Berlin gets the guy, throws him down, gets the Guillermo died, and like they all take him inside. She's just standing outside like, like because it happens like that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So they take him inside, and then Berlin walks back out, and he goes to Emily Blunt. He goes, that got a little nutty, huh? And she goes, that was illegal. What the fuck? And then she
It
points
doesn't matter. They're not in the United States. They can do whatever the fuck they want.
And
Yo!
Sam, it gets deeper. It gets deeper than that.
Okay, sorry.
No, not at all.
It just hit me. I was like, they can do whatever they want when they're not here.
It's not even, it gets deeper than why they can do whatever they want. It's crazier. So, you know, she's like, that was illegal. And then she points at Benicio as he's walking by her, and she goes, and him, who the fuck is that? And Benicio just kind of looks at her and just keeps walking like, bitch, ain't worried about you, you know? And then she goes, I am not a soldier. I did not sign up for this shit. That's not what I do. And he goes, Kate, this is Josh Brolin. He's like, this is the future. This is what happens when they come to our country and they dig in. So you sponge up everything you see and learn. That's why you're here. He walks off, right? Cuts to Brolin going in the room where they got the Guillermo dude tied up, right? Like an interrogation room. And he walks in, and they're giving the Guillermo dude water. They're like, and he goes, oh, they giving you a belly full of water, you little devil? And he closes the door. He goes, you didn't think we'd get to you, huh? Thought you'd be safe in Mexico, didn't you? And he goes, well. And then he walks up on him, and the Guillermo dude goes, no hablo inglés. And the Brolin laughs. He goes, I love no hablo inglés. He goes, oh, do I love no hablo inglés. He goes, you know, and he gets in his face. I brought an old buddy of yours, and I bet you hablo inglés to him. Outside, we see our boy Benicio drinking some water, just chilling, casual. Another guy comes up, like clearly a Mexican, like agent. You know what I mean? And he goes, a ghost drinking water. Right? Talking about Benicio.
I don't know why that was so funny.
And then they talk to this other, and they're clearly cool. They know it, like they go back. Because they know about each other. Like he's asking him about his family and shit, but in Spanish. And he's telling him about it. He's like, oh, we're good. And then he tells them these rumors of this tunnel he hears about that from Mexico to Arizona, if you can find it. And he lets Benicio know, though. He's like, yo, you only got 3 days. Because in 3 days, no one will be where they are today. So you got to close in on this fast. Okay. And then he's like, okay. And then the cop looks at Benicio and goes, shall we? Like walking towards the interrogation room. And Benicio stops him. And he goes, it's better if you don't. And the guy's eyes get big. And Benicio goes, something happens in that room. Safer to say you didn't see anything. And the guy goes, okay. And he looks at Benicio, and in Spanish, he says, and I'm sorry for what happened to you. And he walks off. All right? Benicio, you remember I said he was standing by the water cooler? Mm-hmm. He grabs one of the water coolers, like one of the full jugs of water, and just starts walking casually into the interrogation room.
Oh, wow.
He told him, because the other guy's an agent doing it by the book. That's why he said, don't come in the room. Because he's boys with him. He actually knows him.
Oh, he's like, I don't want you to get in trouble for what I'm gonna do.
What I'm about to do.
Yeah.
All right. But clearly he respects him to do that because he says, hey, I'm sorry for what happened to you.
Yeah.
So you know what I'm saying? So right when he walks in the room, Guillermo's eyes, of course, get like, what the fuck? And he walks right up on him, and his face gets super serious. And then he looks to the cops for help. Like Brolin's just smiling at him, right? This nigga, like, when I say so close, Sam, like, Guillermo's tied up sitting down. Benicio walks up with, like, his dick is in his face. He's that close, and he's just staring at him, like, right? And then in Spanish, he says, Now you'll learn what's hell in Yankee land. And Guillermo's eyes get big. And then he goes, no Medellin? That's what he says. Benicio. And then he looks at Brolin. That's when Guillermo looks at Brolin. And Brolin goes, what you looking at me for? No hablo inglés. The camera pans down to the drain, and you just hear, poof, poof, and Guillermo going, no, poof, poof, no. Right? Outside, we see our girl Emily smoking a cigarette. One of the dudes from the team walks up on her and goes, hey, you want to see some fireworks? She's like, what? He takes her up on the roof, and he gives her like some binoculars, and you can see in Juarez across the border, there's just war going on. Explosions, guns, everything. And he goes, that's what happens when you chop the head off of a chicken. Right? She's like, so we see Brolin, Benicia, and Emily. They're heading back to Tucson. They ask her to call her homie Reggie to pick them up, right? Mm-hmm. They need a ride to Tucson, right? So they're like, all right. So he gives them a ride. They get there. The whole time, Brolin is kind of being rude to the Get Out dude. Yeah. All right.
Because he's a lawyer?
He's just kind of being rude.
I don't fuck with you.
Yeah. And our boy from they get to like a we're bus, like a Greyhound bus center in Arizona. Oh, yeah. Like something like that. You know what I mean?
A bus depot.
And they get to that in Tucson. And when they pull up, Brolin and Benicio get out. And then he looks at Kate, the Get Out dude, and he's like, yo, what the fuck happened in El Paso? And she goes, we weren't in El Paso. We were in Mexico. And his face is like, and then she just walks off. Like, 'cause she's already like, dude.
I don't know how to deal with this. I can't talk to you.
Yes. Yeah, you know that feeling of like.
I can't even put this in words for myself.
Yeah, so I don't know. So you see all these Mexicans sitting outside the bus transport. And these are all apparently illegals that they caught in America, right? And they're about to send them back. Benicio walks up and he tells the dude, like, hey, we need everybody caught around the Nogales, Mexico area. Like anybody caught around that area, like anybody who's from that area. Like that's what we need, right? Everyone else can go. So Emily, she walks over and she asks Brolin what we're looking for. And he goes, just keep watching and be quiet. You see Benicio start talking to the Mexicans and like he's being super sweet to all these people and asking them like, are you married? Do you have children? And he's asking them all this and he's just slowly.
He's looking for something.
He's a lawyer. He's looking for something. You know what I mean? And that's what and so you see him doing all this. And as he's doing all this, the black dude from Get Out just goes like, yo, what the fuck is going on? And she goes, I don't know, man. He goes, I want answers, right? I'm here. You got me here helping. I need to know what the fuck I'm doing. And she's like, yo, go ahead. Good luck. They're not going to tell you anything. You know what I mean? And he goes, watch. Matt, can I talk to you for a minute? Like, you know when guys do that? Like, I'm going to use my people. Yeah.
I'm a man.
You're going to talk to me, right? So Matt and Benicio walk over.
How would you think that would work in like the police world?
Bro.
At any level, whether you're a FBI agent or like an everyday cop, why would you think that would work?
This is how stupid. Him and her follow everything by the book. So in their head, they're assuming, oh, well, by the book, because by the book, I'm supposed to know what I'm doing.
They're all Ethan Hawke.
Yeah. Whereas, as you can see,
everyone else is Denzel.
Like, bro, you were trying to take down the cartel.
Yeah.
You're gonna do it by the book?
Yeah.
The fucker. Because also, it's like, how naive do you sound?
Like, how do you think that? How would that even work?
You think they're over there doing it by the book?
Yeah, it's like saying. It's like when the British came, they used to do warfare, like everyone would line up, and then we learned to do like guerrilla warfare. That's how we won.
People do it to us now.
Yeah.
That's how you win war.
Well, yeah, like if you just all agree to like show up at the same time, it's like, well,
fight fair.
What is this, chess?
Yeah.
Like.
So, Matt and Benicio walk over to the dude, and like Josh Brolin, he's laughing. He's like, man, you look serious, bro. Like. Laughing at the dude. Ooh. And he goes, I want to know the objective right now or I walk. And then Josh Brolin's like, get the fuck out of here. I don't want you here anyway. And then Emily Blunt goes, I do too. And he smiles. He goes, what you want to know? And then Reggie, the dude from Get Out, he goes, everything. And then Josh Brolin goes, fucking lawyers. God. He goes, okay. Guillermo told us of a tunnel. So now we're questioning them. So we can find the tunnels. And then she goes, and Guillermo just told you where the tunnels were. Just like that. He just told you where they were. You guys didn't figure it out? And then Josh Brolin goes, he had no options. He had to tell us.
Yeah, it's like, what were you talking about? Like, you know what it is.
Right? And they're like, just tell us the truth. And Josh Brolin smiles. He goes, all right, the truth. We're going to make enough noise that Manuel Diaz is called back to see his boss. He has to go back and see him. And then they go, and then? He goes, then we'll know where his boss is. And then Benicio right then goes, his name is Fausto Alacon El Vertigo. Right? And he goes, and every day across that border, people are kidnapped and killed by his blessing. To find him would be like discovering the cure for a vaccine.
Whoa. A cure for a virus.
A virus. He goes, finding the vaccine for a virus. He goes, and you can understand the value in that, can't you? And they both go, yeah, okay, all right, yeah. Like they get it now. Like, all right. So Brolin tells him,
They're
go
setting
home.
a trap.
Yeah, go home, get rest. We'll see you in the morning, right? The get out dude is like, yo, what the fuck is going on? Emily's like, yo, just stop. Like, we're never gonna know. You know? So, remember the little Mexican family from the beginning?
Oh, where the dad's a cop?
Mm-hmm. The little kid is like asking his mom.
It's not going to be good for him.
She's like, Mom, where's Dad? And she's like, oh, he's working tonight. And he's like, oh, well, when is he back? And the mom's like, I don't know. She's like annoyed too. You know what I mean?
Oh.
Next day, get out guy, you know, he tells our girl, he's like, hey, you got to watch this mad guy. You need someone watching your six, you know, because like, and then she lets him know like, hey, just relax. Like, if I'm being honest, the work we were doing is nothing. Like what these guys are doing, this is the real shit. Mm-hmm. This is like what makes change.
Well, what they're doing is just cleaning up the messes. Yeah.
They're trying to go for the source.
Yeah. They're like, let's stop the mess from being made.
Yep. And it's like, oh, but that's a day. But to get
even
there,
then, it's like,
it's still impossible. But Sam, you'll realize, no, Sam, because I know you're like, oh, because even then somebody else just said, Sam, wait till you hear what's really going on.
well, because it's also what I know about the war against drugs is, I mean, we have a very active part in why the drugs are coming here. So it's not like I feel like it's not going to end up being the other side of the border that's going to have the trouble in the end.
So you're saying like, oh, Emily, you need to open your eyes. This is clearly something bigger.
Yeah.
She should already recognize like right now, like, oh, this is big.
Well,
this is way out of my jurisdiction.
I just think if you work for any branch of the government, whether it be any kind of, like if you're a cop or if you're, CIA, political person, yeah, or any, that it's just a big cartel.
It is the cartel. It's the cartel. It's the cartel with suits.
It's the cartel with suits.
It's all the government is. So I get shot.
With clean hands.
Right then I just get shot.
The cartel with clean hands.
With clean hands, exactly. So next day, Get Out Boy and Emily Blunt, they go to Matt and Benicio's hotel room, where you see Benicio's got some of those Mexican dudes in his hotel room, and he's questioning them still, right? But he's being nice to him, and he's got like all these like maps and shit, and he's pointing out where the tunnels are, and they let him know like one of the tunnels that they did find that they know of is behind this old car, right? Like right here, right? And Benicio's like, all right, that's a way to cross. And then he looks over and he goes, Guillermo was telling the truth, because that's where when he tortured him, he said it was behind this old car, all right? And then Brolin goes, it's gonna be a good day. And he goes, hey Kate, you got any friends in Phoenix at SWAT? And she goes, yeah. He goes, good. We're going to fuck with Manuel Diaz's wallet today. All right? So we see pictures of the Manuel Diaz dude, all right? And you see him like getting in his car and he's like doing shit. Brolin is watching a bank on security camera. And they find this serf, which is a girl who's dropping off like the money for Manuel Diaz, right? And Brolin, they got all their eyes on her, and Brolin says, yo, once she drops this money off and they give her the receipt, go get her ass. And if she tries to eat it, you Heimlich that receipt out of her fucking stomach.
Yeah.
Like, you know what I mean? So they watch on camera, and then they like, she gets her receipt. She goes to walk out. The police all bust in. You see her try to eat it. They fucking stop her and get it from her and shit.
Damn.
You know? And so they like from his accounts, they're able to freeze all Manuel Diaz's accounts. All of them. They freeze everything, right?
Yeah.
They search the girl's car, and they find like another bag full of so much cash. It's all in these like interesting rubber bands, like these colorful little rubber bands. Okay. Is
that important?
Okay. Cash everywhere. Bro, Emily finds it and she's like, holy shit, because she's the one who found it, right? So Brolin, she's like, oh, look what I found. We got to go in and like see if this money matches with the money in the bank. We can use this to really take Manuel down. And the Manuel B. Diaz guy, and then he goes, no, don't worry about that. He's like, that's small shit, let it go. She goes, no, we're gonna do this by the book. That's our job. We're gonna do it. And he goes, don't go in the bank. And then she starts walking towards the bank. He says, Kate, don't go in the bank. And then she goes in, right? And she goes, this is something to build a case on. Like she yells it back, right? He's like, oh fuck. So we see as she walks in, you see now from the camera angles of the bank looking at her and the get out dude as they walk in.
Yeah.
All right. So whoever would be looking at these cameras now knows whoever's in this bank working this case knows what they look like. All right. Remember how he said this is big. So also, if a guy like him is telling you don't go in the bank, do what he says.
Yeah. You
think this motherfucker don't know what he's talking about? So you see her reporting the money to the FBI, the $17 million. That's what they seized, right? And she heads back and she tells the Matt guy that, yo, we can use this to take Manuel down. And he goes, no. She goes, what do you mean no? This is $17 million. We can use this to take him down. We can get him off the streets. He's in America. We can go arrest him right now. He goes, no, that's not the objective.
Yeah, they want to take down his boss.
The objective is getting his boss to call him so he can come back.
Well, also, if you take down him, then
the boss knows now.
And also the boss just replaces him with another person.
Yep.
It doesn't stop the problem.
Also, they don't know where the boss is at all.
They don't know where the boss is.
At all. No one on earth does. So it's like you don't see the bigger picture here.
Yeah, it's like we told you the objective.
Because that's why he was like, hey, it doesn't matter. Because he was saying, hey, don't go in the bank and try to get this bus because we're never going to, even if we could go, like she said, we have all the evidence. We could surely go get him right now. I don't care. I don't want him. How do you not see that? This is bigger.
It's like local cops who watch, well, they don't do this anymore. Maybe here they do. Yeah. But back when I was in high school, local cops would watch like the guys that would sell to all of us to figure out where they were getting it from. Yeah. Sell weed. I mean, not like, they don't care about some teenager selling weed to their friends.
Yeah.
They care about the guy selling the weed to the teenager.
Also, that's what they don't know. It's like, yo, we're trying to get Pablo Escobar. And you're like, oh, but I can get his top right-hand man. And it's like, I don't need his top right-hand man.
Yeah, we need the guy, the source.
So
if you're gonna pull a weed from the ground, you gotta pull it by the roots.
So she gets pissed. He goes off. He's like, I don't care. We're not doing it. So suck a dick, bitch. So they see the Manuel dude with his kids like swimming in a mansion, right? And he's just on the phone. He finds out that all of his money just got froze, which means he's gonna have to tell
his boss. Which
means his boss would say, I need to speak with you.
Oh yeah.
Like clearly, Brolin is like, bro, I know how this goes. Because there's one thing the big boss won't like, and it's that $17 million got froze.
It's a lot of money.
Even if he's a billionaire, it's just the principle of it.
17 million is a good portion of $1 billion. It's
enough to make you stop and go, why? Who did it? Who do I need to talk? We got to talk to somebody. Somebody's in trouble. So Kate goes off about the money, and she found the arresting guy. Now she's talking to the higher ups, or trying to go above Josh Brolin's head, and even they tell her, nothing we can do.
Yeah.
Right? And she's like, what are you talking about? And they tell her how it's a small bust in the grand scheme of things and how we are losing this war. She's like, what do you mean we're losing this war? He's like, you don't understand. They tell her, the reason a guy like Matt is here is to stir the pot. Mm-hmm. Matt makes criminals make mistakes. He gets them nervous. He gets them not trusting their crew. He gets them having to move their money. When they do these things, which is very rare, that's when we're able to strike. Because it is like, yo, you think these high criminal drug lords make mistakes? Like, this
How do
is
you
real
think
life.
they got
This isn't
there?
a movie. Yeah, this is real life. So to get them to make mistakes, you need a nigga like Matt who's getting them from the Mexican jail to the American jail so he can torture them and you see what I'm saying? We need somebody.
These aren't stupid people.
No.
These are like the Bill Gates of Mexico.
Of crime. Same of crime.
Of crime.
That's why they're billionaires.
Well, that's why, yeah. It's like they wouldn't be billionaires unless they were good at it.
Really, really good. So, they're telling her all that, and they're like, that's what Matt's good at. So they say, yo, and she's like, well, who do I have to talk to? And they go, yo, they say, these decisions are made far from here, far from this table. These decisions are made by people who are elected to office. Do you understand what I'm saying now, Kate? And then she goes, realizing oh, this is like the president or the vice president okaying this Josh Brolin guy to do whatever is necessary.
To take care of this objective.
So... And they tell her, they go, Kate, if you ever think you're operating out of bounds, you are not. The boundary has been moved. Are we clear? She goes, yes, sir. She leaves, right? She's like, they tell her and the get out dude this. And they both look at each other as they walk outside, and she goes, I need a drink. And he goes, where you want to go? She goes, anywhere. They drive off. As they drive off, Benicio's in the car just watching them. Okay? She gets a drink at the bar. She's hanging out with the Get Out dude. They're talking, they're laughing. They're just like, this is fucking crazy, right? They start talking about regular shit, about like how she's not dating anyone and look, because her hair, the whole time, she's beautiful, but she's not trying to look hot this whole movie, which makes it really, like, she looks like an FBI like a person who's in the field. Yeah. Like, she's no makeup, no hair is never done.
Always ponytail.
Always ponytail, always in great shape, but like that's it, but kind of beat up looking, rugged looking.
Like what's her face at the beginning of Miss Congeniality?
Exactly like that.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like everyone knows she's a good-looking woman. It's just she doesn't.
She's no effort any day ever.
Yeah.
But she's also her job. It's like, yo,
why would I do that?
I'm trying not to get my head blown off.
That, and also you are operating with mostly. I mean, this is a male field. You do want to be taken seriously. You don't want anyone looking at you and thinking, "Oh, I want to fuck her."
Yeah.
When you could die the next day.
Yeah. Yeah. So he's making fun of her, like, yo, you used to be the #1 draft pick when I met you. Look at you now. She's like, oh, shut up, right? You sound like my mother. And they're laughing. Then right then, you remember the dude? He's the Punisher in the show. He's in The Wolf of Wall Street. He's in a million movies. He
the show The Punisher?
This guy. He's in everything right now. Him.
Oh, he's in everything.
Him. He walks up. Okay? He's just a guy at this bar. Okay. And he sees her and he thinks she's cute and he kind of starts hitting on her, right? But he knows the Reggie guy. Uh-huh. They go back.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, he's like, yo, Reggie. They used to work together like in another, like they used to be cops together. You know what I mean? Uh-huh. And then she knows him too. She's like, hey, she was like, were you at like the softball picnic, whatever thing? And she's like, yeah. And then she makes fun of him because she remembered that he was really bad at softball. Uh-huh. Right? And it's like cute. It's like really cute. And so they're laughing. So like, cut to the night they're drinking more. Cut to the night they're dancing. Cut to the night they're drinking more. And then like her and him kind of start making out. Yeah. He's got game too. You know what I mean? Like
he's a good looking guy.
He's a really good looking guy. And they're making out with Whoop. And they start having a good time. Cut to them now on the couch at her place. Uh-huh. All right? And then, they're literally about to fuck.
It's just her and him.
Yeah. They're about to fuck, and he's taking his pants off, and his pants are really tight, so he has to he's like, hold on, girl. And he takes everything out of his pockets and he throws them on the table, and then he gets back like on top of her, and then she starts making out. And he starts kissing on her neck, and she's looking, kissing, and as she looks on the table, she notices those rubber bands that were in the money. Those were in his pocket. Yeah. She's staring at him as he's kicking in her neck. And she goes, wait one second. He's like, oh, come on, girl. He's like, wait, hold on. She's like, oh, is that something wrong? And he's like, he's being nice. He's like, is something okay? She's like, just hold on. She gets up and she walks off. He's like, Kate, talk to me now. And he looks over at the table and then he sees the rubber bands.
He knows she knows.
He starts kind of thinking and he goes, all right, Kate, calm down now. And he walks up on her and she kind of backs him up like this, like holding him off. He's like, it's all right, calm down, Kate, talk to me now.
Still
Kate,
drunk
talk to
too.
me. Yeah, and she's like, talk to me. And then, she hits him with a Sam, like one of those two-handed, like, boom, like pushing the nigga like that. You know what I mean? Like a hard, like, we're about to fight. Yeah. Get the fuck off of me. Yeah. She pushes him like that, goes to grab her gun. He goes, you fucking crazy bitch. She goes to shoot this nigga. Like he grabs it, like bam, pops one off, right? He gets the gun out of her hand. They start fighting. They start going back and forth. It's like, damn it, Kate, stop. Kate, goddamn it, you're fucking crazy. Stop. What are you doing? Relax. And she's like, get the fuck off me. And she's like trying to get off, and then this nigga starts choking her on the floor. Stop. He's like, you fucking bitch. He's like, shh. He goes, you did this, Kate. He's like, you fucking did this. It didn't have to be this, but you did this.
What was he gonna do to her otherwise?
He's killing her. He's choking her. Right then, he looks up. Who's he see?
Reggie. No. Ba 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 ba.
Ba 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 Benice. Ba 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 Benice. Ba 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 Benice dancer.
Yo. Okay, wait. If he wasn't gonna kill her before, what was he gonna do?
You want to wait?
Okay.
Sam, has this movie not answered every question you've thought of so far?
They keep answering the questions.
So he sees Benicio. Benicio doesn't say anything. He just goes, tss, just like that. Tss, like with his gun right into the guy's face. And the guy backs up. He gets his hands off of her. Right? Cut to. We see our girl lighting a cigarette outside and looking at Josh Brolin. And she's so mad. She's like, you used me as bait. And he goes, you did that to yourself. And then she goes, you son of a bitch. He goes, hey, I said don't go in that bank. He did.
He did.
He goes, this is good news. And then she's so pissed. And then you see later that night, you see the homeboy, the Get Out dude comes up to her and he's even more. He's like, I'm so sorry. I thought he was a friend. Like, she's like, I did too. Don't.
Yeah.
Like, you can't. Like we both knew the nigga. Mm-hmm. Of course the cartel is bigger than we think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, he's like, I'm so sorry. He's like, you want me to stay here the night and just make sure you're good? And she's like, no, I'm all right. I'm all right. She's like, you sure? She's like, yeah, I'm good. Camera pans back as he walks off. You see the dude is Ted. That's his name. The cop. That was that tried to kill her. His name's Ted. All right. He's in the car. He is fucked up. Brolin's in the front seat. You see Benicio just smoking a cigarette outside the car, looking in.
Nice.
You know what I mean? And he goes, how many corrupt motherfuckers you work with, Ted? He's like, look, man, I don't know, okay? You know, and he's like, look, I'll try to talk to you. And then as he keeps talking, Benicio grabs his hair and just pulls it, like, really hard. He goes, okay. And then Brolin goes, okay. It's not what we're looking for. Tell us what we're looking for. And he goes, all right, what do you want? He goes, new deal, Ted. And this is Josh Brolin. He gets in his face. He goes, I decide whether your daughter gets protection. Or maybe the government decides to put your family's information up on the internet. This is how he said, I decide whether you go to a prison here where you can see him or a prison in Mexico where you're dead immediately. I can decide all that. Like, you see, like, yo, he's like, oh my God. He goes, this is how you negotiate to survive, friend. That's what we're talking about now. He's like, okay. He goes, look, man, this really got away from me. I didn't expect to get this in. I got it over my head with all the money, and I'm sorry. I'm sorry, please. And right there, Benicio goes down his ear. Sam. Then he goes, fuck!
Yo, he like Wet Willie raped his ear?
Wet Willie raped it. Fuck, and he goes, okay. And he pulls it out. He goes, fuck you.
Jeez,
fuck
that
you.
sounds awful. A big man finger, too.
Yeah,
it's not like mine.
Angry finger, too.
Ow.
And he goes, they go, how many corrupt officers are on the force? He goes, I'll tell you. Just promise my daughter will be safe. Promise me that. And Benicio just sits. He gets in the car, Sam, and he sits next to him like this. Like, and the dude's like, he's just looking at him. And he goes, give me all the names of all the fuckers on the force. Now. Like, you think I give a fuck about your daughter's safety? Because clearly it's like, bro, we're past that.
It's also weird that, like, they're always like, all right, if you say that my daughter's going to be safe. And it's like, they already brought that up. It's like they're not bringing that up because they were just fucking around.
So he starts giving all the bad cops, all right? So that night, you see Benicio, he comes up on our girl, and he checks up on her.
On Emily Blunt.
Yeah. And he goes, you should have shot him, right? And she goes, I can't believe I tried to have sex with my hitman tonight. And then he goes, he was no assassin. He was just trying to get information out of you. It must have just went too far.
Oh.
He was just trying to fuck.
He was just trying to fuck.
That's why he said I didn't want to, like.
I just needed to know what you were doing. Afterwards, they were going to lay there and post fuckery.
And we were going to talk.
And we were going to talk. And you were going to tell me everything.
Yeah.
And she would have.
That's why he said, when he was killing her, like, wasn't supposed to be this.
Yeah.
You know? So he goes, he wasn't after you. He was after us. Trust me. This is Benicio talking to her. And she goes, thank you. And he smiles. And he stares at her. And she gets kind of nervous because he's just staring at her. Mm-hmm. And then he goes, you remind me of someone very special to me. And then she's like.
It's the scariest shit I could ever hear.
And then she doesn't say anything. He goes, get some rest. Tomorrow they call Manuel back to Mexico. And we cut a leg from them. And he leaves, right? So cut to a drone saying it has eyes on the objective. It's the next day. You see a drone. Remember that car where the tunnel was? Like they say it's an old car in Mexico. That's where this tunnel is. They find it. You see the little kid. Remember the little kid from earlier in the movie? With
his dad, and they were going to play footy?
He wakes his father for breakfast, right? And he's like, Papa, breakfast. He goes, Papa, are you working today? And the dad goes, tonight. He goes, you want to play soccer with me in the park? And the dad goes, you mean football? He goes, sí, Papa. He goes, I mean my coffee. He gives him his coffee, and he's like, all right, we'll play. He loves him. And the kid's like, yes, right? And then the kid goes to touch his father's gun. He goes, no, never touch that, ever. You understand me? And he's like, yeah, yes, Papa. Right? Next day, our girl shows up to Matt's and Benicio's hotel room, and they're going over the plan with the team and shit. and they say, we're going hunting. They said he was called back, and like we're gonna find where that tunnel is. And we have a security drone with like footage of it, and Benicio looks at her and he's like, "You good?" And she's like, "I'm good." So all the boys are getting geared up, and then they let him know like, "Hey, if you see anybody, even in a police uniform in that tunnel, it's a bandit. Kill him. This is an in and out mission. We need the mother of all diversions. That's our job for this mission. All the noise." And then like they go, "How much noise?" And then Josh Brolin goes, "4th of July on steroids." And all the like boy on the SWAT teams are like, "Okay." Like, all right, let's go, boys. So you see a drone following Manuel, and you see the Manuel dude getting in his Mercedes and driving off. Emily and the Get Out dude are getting mad because they weren't told about anything what's going on. They're still like, "Yo, what the fuck? Like nobody's telling us anything. We didn't act on anybody at the bank. Whoop. How come you guys aren't telling us anything?" And then Josh Brolin's like, "We're not telling you guys anything because you guys fucked up and cried at the bank and almost got hurt, killed.
Also,
like you guys don't deserve to know anything."
It's like, I think like it's one of those situations you don't want to know anything because you're safer not know anything, right?
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah. Also, I get him not telling. He's like, "Man, y'all can't know anything because you guys fuck up."
And you guys are soldiers. She says, "I'm not a soldier." You're a soldier now.
Have you not realized the situation?
It's like when my brother in the Navy has to go out on ship, they don't tell them when they're going and they don't tell them where they're going. They just go.
Facts. So, he's like, so our girl Emily Blunt goes, "Why are we even here? Because you're gonna have us because on the mission they told them they just want them in the back. They don't want them doing anything. You know what I mean?" And he's like, "Why are we even here?" That's what Emily Blunt says. And then Josh Brolin looks at her annoyed and he goes, "Because CIA can't operate outside borders without a domestic agency attached. That's why." And she's like, "That's why I'm here?" And he goes, "Yep, that's it. That's why you're here. We find some drugs, you can confiscate it then." And he walks out, and she is like, "Unfucking real." So remember how she thought this whole time that they wanted her or would have do? They wanted. Remember, you're like, "Oh, he's allowed to do what he wants." They're only allowed to do what they want outside if somebody's there present, saying basically that it's okay.
She's the person.
She's HR.
She's HR. Okay.
You know what I mean?
They needed someone, and she was smart because she's new, so they can like get her to do things that she might not want.
Yep. That's why she just realized what she's really there for. She's pissed. She goes outside. Get Out dude's like, "Yo, let's leave. Let's fuck up their whole mission. Fuck them." She's like, "No." He's like, "Come on." So she's like, "Let's leave. Like, fuck them. They're gonna use us like this." And she goes, "I have to know what they used us for." And he goes, "Kate, let it go. We can walk away right now and leave this whole fucked up operation. It'll have nothing to do with us." She goes, "No, I have to know." She starts gearing up, and he's like, "Fuck." He gears up too.
Well, also, I would be more nervous. Like, if I fuck it up like this, what happens if there's repercussions? Like, what are you, by not going through with the mission, whose life will be
You don't know
lost?
you don't know.
Yeah.
But you also don't know what you're doing.
You also don't know what you're doing if you do it.
So you see thunder and lightning happening. They start heading towards the tunnel, right? Benicio, like all the other soldiers have camo on. Benicio has on all black, though. Okay? Puts on a black mask, covers everything but his eyes. The team tells Get Out and Emily, "Dude, yo, stay in the back. Keep your safeties on." They're like, "Don't fucking shoot anyone on our team. You guys are just fucking here. Don't do anything." All right? The sun goes down. It gets dark. They all have night vision. They start walking. All right? Music's super intense. All you see is through their night vision. All right? They walk to this tunnel. They're like 12 meters ahead. Benicio's like, "I need a big distraction, boys." Okay? And then one of the other guys go, "What are the rules of engagement, boss?" And then Josh Brolin goes, "Weapons free, boys. Weapons free." I mean, shoot.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So Benicio says to both the teams, "Don't follow me. I'll be fine. Nobody follow me, okay?" They'll go, "Yes, sir." They all head in. So the tunnels are dark as shit. You see a soldier going through with a knife. Call of Duty just kills a couple Mexican dudes who are like on watch in the tunnels, right? Kills them. Emily follows past, sees their dead bodies. They get to a part of the tunnel now that has lights, so they're able to take the night vision off. They keep walking. Emily, as they're walking, right, she's walking. She hears gunfire up ahead. She's walking slowly. You see Brolin and all the other team lighting niggas up, killing a bunch of people, right? Emily's walking. She's like, "Shit." Right as she walks, she bends a corner with her gun first, and the gun gets shot out of her hand, like her big gun. And she's like, "Fuck!" And she goes to grab it, and then the Get Out dude's like, "Leave it." And she's like, "All right." He's like, "Just stay on my six." All the soldiers go one way, right? She grabs her gun. Like all the soldiers go one way. She sees Benicio go the other way.
She follows him.
She follows him. Nobody notices it. All right? Remember the dad police officer?
Yeah.
Okay? Earlier that day, we seen him loading up a bunch of heroin. I forgot to say, but we saw him loading up a bunch of heroin when he, like, that night, right? Now
after he was playing football with his
son. Now that night, we see him, he's dumping all the heroin at the, but you hear all the guns shoot out, right? But his job is to clearly put it at this spot, so he's dumping it as fast as he can.
Until you get out of there.
There's another cartel member helping him. They hear the gunfire getting closer and closer and closer. The other cartel member points the gun at him. And he's like, whoa, 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 whoa. He's like, give me the keys. And the cop's like, whoa, whoa, wait a minute, man. Like, be cool. So give me the fucking keys. Bam! The dude gets shot in the head. And the cop's like, Benicio's walking right up on him, right? Benicio, he comes up on him, and he takes his guns, and he goes, Medellin? And then right then you hear, freeze! And he turns around, and he has Benicio turns, like, confused, and he has the cop, like, held hostage now.
Yeah.
And it's Emily Blunt. And she goes, step away from him. And he goes, put that down. And she goes, I mean it right now. Move away from him. This nigga pulls him to the side. Bam, bam. Shoots her in the chest twice. She's like, oh! She has a bulletproof vest on.
Yeah.
She's like, oh! He walks up on her.
He wasn't trying to kill her.
Mm-hmm. He walks up on her. He goes, don't you ever point a weapon at me again. Catch your breath. She's like, right? He goes, and get out of here, right? And so she's like, oh, shit. Benicio gets in the car. He makes the cop drive. He gets in the backseat. They drive off. Okay? Mm-hmm. Benicio's looking at him, and you see the dude sitting there, and he's driving. He goes, both hands on the steering wheel. He's all nervous. And then you see him. He gets on his radio. He goes, I'm in the car. Do you have my position? They go, yeah, we do. And they tell him where to go. All right?
He's talking to the...
He's talking to the dudes, like, with the drones and shit.
Okay, so he's still on our side.
Yeah.
Okay.
Remember
I couldn't tell if he was going. I couldn't tell if he was going like rogue or something. Like he asked them not to follow him because he was going to go do.
No,
something.
they all, and that's why they all agree because everyone else knows the mission.
Yeah. Okay.
Only people who don't know the mission
are
Emily Blunt and
okay.
All right. So he's talking to the dudes who are controlling the drones up top.
Uh-huh.
You know what I'm saying? And they're telling him where to go.
Yeah.
Okay. Because now they made it through the tunnels.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And he finds out the dad's name. He's like, "What's your name?" He's like, "It's Silvio." And he tells Silvio, "This is where you're gonna drive me to." He goes, "Okay." They're driving to where. Remember Manuel's coming down to see the boss?
Yeah.
They're driving to him.
Yeah.
All right. So he goes, because they had to get into Mexico
without being noticed.
That's why they had to go through the tunnels.
Okay.
So that there's no proof of American government there.
Mm-hmm.
So he tells him where to go, and then Silvio's scared as shit as he's driving, and he goes, "I have a son, a mijo." And bro, Benicio goes, "Well, what you do now is for your family, Silvio." Silvio's like, so the boys all get back together where they started the op at, and Josh Brolin's telling everybody, "Good job, we got it done. That was great. Everything went as planned," right? And then right then, our boy from Get Out looks around. He goes, "Where the fuck is Kate?" And then Josh Brolin goes, "Oh shit, boys, we got one missing. Let's go." They start heading back in the tunnel. As they head in, you see her walking out, and he goes, "Oh, Kate, good, you're all right." As she walks right up to him, bam! She punches Josh Brolin right in the face.
Cool,
bro. He takes it, and then he beats this bitch up. Like, this ain't no like, oh man, woman. This is like, no, soldier
to soldier. Hey, you punched me first.
This is who gonna say I beat up a woman out here?
It's true. They don't even know that they're there.
Yeah. So he fucking gives her drops that bitch, bro. Fucks her up, right?
Uh-huh.
Her boy from Get Out tries to help her. The other teammates fucking throw his ass down, right? Brolin picks her up and carries her off and then throws her down again and goes, "Stop moving. Relax. She's like, okay. And then he gets off of her and he goes, "Listen." She's like, she's all mad. He goes, "You went up the wrong tunnel, didn't you?" She doesn't say anything. He goes, "You saw something you shouldn't have." And she goes, "What is Medellin?" And he goes, "Medellin refers to a time when one group controlled the drug trade, providing order, because we could control the group." You were asking questions earlier, Sam, weren't you?
That's the problem, is there's too many cartels.
I told you this movie answers all your questions.
That's fucking awesome.
How fucking awesome is that? Because you hear that and you're like, of course that's real.
Where she said, "What's Medellin?" I was like, "It's a movie that Vince Chase was in."
That Vinny Chase was in, and it flopped.
And it flopped.
Almost ruined his whole career.
Pretty much.
Yeah. But how genius is that? Like for the American government to be like, we can't control all the.
But if you can make it
if
one,
it's just Pablo Escobar, we can make deals with him. Mm-hmm. All right. And so he goes.
So they champion one of them.
Exactly.
That's fucking crazy.
You've been wondering who Benicio del Toro is.
Yo. Okay, keep on. Keep going.
So now, because she's like realizing this, and Brolin looks at her and he goes, until someone finds a way to convince 20% of the population of this entire country to stop snorting and smoking all that shit, order is the best we can hope for.
When he says this country, he means America.
Yeah. Because 20% of America snorts, so he's like, so since we can't
as long as Americans are going to keep purchasing drugs,
we got to figure out a way to control it. All right? And he goes, that's the best we can hope for.
Why don't they just fucking legalize everything?
Can't do that either. I don't know why. It makes more sense, but
you can tax it then, and then
tax it.
Yeah, it just and then it's like all the other rich people that are taking advantage of us.
Sam, same question I can pose. Why don't we just use electric cars? Why is oil even still a thing?
There's more money to be made in oil. There is more, but you'd think that if they made it legal, the government would get more of a cut. But I guess then it's a cut we know about versus whatever the cut is that we don't know they're getting.
That's what I'm saying, Sam. You don't know what the cut is. So, you ready to keep going?
Yeah, I'm ready.
I know this is also the mind fuck part of the movie where you're like,
this is
what?
Fucking awesome.
So, he met Josh Brolin, looks at her and he goes, Alejandro, which is Benicio del Toro's name. His name's Alejandro. Alejandro is helping us restore order. Alejandro works for the Colombian cartel. No, she goes, does Alejandro work for the Colombian cartel? And then he says...
He is the Colombian.
No, he goes, he works for anyone who will turn him loose. And her eyes get big. And then Josh Brolin goes, so he can get the person who cut off his wife's head and threw his daughter in a vat of acid. And then she's like... And he goes, yeah, that's what we're dealing with. She goes, you can't do this. She goes, and I'm sure as shit, I'm not going to let you put all this on behind my name, that I said it was okay for you guys to do all this shit. She goes, I'm going to talk. And he goes, no, you're not. And she stands up. She goes, I'm going to tell everyone what you guys did here. And he looks at her calmly and he goes, Kate, that would be a major mistake.
Also, it's like what they did there, it's kind of hard to put into words that would get the American public to be like, oh, I understand what's happening.
It's too deep. It's so layered.
Yeah, it's so layered.
Layers.
Like, who would you go to that would, because it's
back
like,
you on this.
Well, yeah, because everyone in the government is going to be like, no, we need Medellin or whatever.
Yo, we need one cartel to run it, which is the Colombian in this situation is what they're, but that's why he said
like
it's
a
like
great alternative.
But that's why I love that he said, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Colombia doesn't seem like a great alternative. It's too far away.
No,
Mexico's still here.
Yeah, but the point of it being we need one cartel
that
we can work with.
Yeah, so they're going to take over Mexico.
That's why, but I love her going, oh, so that's who Benicio works for. And he goes, no. Benicio works for whoever the fuck. Because clearly, remember when the guy earlier who was like, I'm sorry for what happened to you. Mm-hmm. Benicio is a guy, it's like pretty much an informant.
Sicario.
He's a snitch. He's like, hey, I'll give you whatever you want, but I want one thing. I want revenge.
You killed my father.
But you see what I'm saying? Exactly. But like, my point is like, you see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like his whole storyline.
It doesn't matter how this ends. What matters is I get to the guy so that, or whoever's close. I kill as many people close enough to what happened to my family.
No, I'm going for the guy.
Yeah, and the guy.
No, he's going for the guy who made the head call.
Yeah.
That's who he's going for. All right. So.
But if there's so many cartels, are they using like multiple guys? Are there like multiple Sicarios that they pick up whose like wives have been beheaded to like take down all different cartels?
Also, so we don't know. I mean, I think Alejandro either works for the Colombian cartel or another cartel, but he was a top member, whoever he worked for. He was a lawyer.
Oh, yeah,
He says it earlier. He was a lawyer.
He was a lawyer.
All
That's right. A
So-
prosecutor.
He's a prosecutor. So Silvio, or maybe he wasn't a cartel. Maybe he
No,
was just a
yeah,
prosecutor.
maybe he was a prosecutor and he took the wrong person.
But then again, I can say no because like they would have prosecutors too in the cartel. They would have everything.
Why would they need a prosecutor?
You should have your hands in everything. Well, you need everybody.
Oh, like he was supposed to throw the case so
Who
that
knows?
they
Yeah.
could get out.
Who knows? We don't know what he did
Yeah,
wrong.
you're right. They probably have everyone.
Yeah. So, also he's clearly like a fucking hitman. He's tactical as shit.
Yeah.
He wasn't just a prosecutor.
Well, obviously.
You see what I'm saying? That's why I was like, no, I think he clearly worked for the cartel.
Oh yeah, but I don't think like if you were a prosecutor for a cartel, that's when you became the hitman. Because it's like the chick who's the cop for the lawyer in the Ozarks. She doesn't know how to do any like tactical shit. I think he was probably a prosecutor and then kind of got involved in it later.
No, I think no. You both. I think you've always been tactical, and your whole life you were being a prosecutor.
Okay.
You remember how Departed? Jack Nicholson, and they show the kid Matt Damon. He's been molding him.
But he's not a prosecutor. Kid Matt Damon is a cop.
No, but I'm saying like
Oh,
he was molding him to be a cop, even though he was going to work for him the whole time.
I see what you're saying.
So you're molding this kid to be a lawyer, even though he's really working for you. And you see what I'm saying? So yeah, he knows how to work a gun and do all this. That's what I'm saying. Like we don't know his story.
Also, I mean, like if he's growing up around cartels in general, you probably want to know how to defend yourself.
But I mean, there's also regular kids like this kid, the soccer dad. Remember, who his dad doesn't want his son near the guns.
Yeah, that's true.
So you got to have that too. This is this is real. So, where are we at? Okay, he says it's gonna be a major mistake.
Yeah, he says that.
Silvio, we see our boy Silvio. He keeps driving. He sees brake lights, right up ahead. Our boy Benicio goes, "Is that the target ahead? Can you confirm?" And they go, "Confirm. Yes, it is." He goes, "Silvio, speed up and turn on your lights." Whoop, whoop, whoop. You see the Manuel dude. He's like, "Oh, motherfucker. Like, who the fuck would pull me over?"
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? He pulls over. Benicio goes, "Muy bien. Use the speaker. Tell him get out the car." Silvio's scared as shit. He's like, "Put your hands up. Step out of the car." Right? Nothing happens. Benicio says, "Say it again. Step your hands up. Step out of the car." Manuel gets out and he's like annoyed, like clearly annoyed as fuck. You know what I mean? And he goes, "Silvio, tell him to raise his jacket and turn around." He raise your jacket, turn around. The guy's like, "You know who I am? Do you know who I am?" "Silvio, tell him you'll fucking kill him. Raise his jacket and turn around." "I'll kill you, motherfucker. Raise your jacket and turn around." The guy does it. "Drop your gun." He had a gun in like his back. You see the Manuel dude throw his gun. And then Benicio goes to Silvio, "What a good police officer you make, Silvio. Now exit the car." Silvio's like, gets out. He walks up towards the dude. Manuel's like, "What do you want?" Silvio's just like this. A shot goes through Silvio's stomach, right into Manuel's leg. All right? You hear our boy Benicio go. He runs up on him and goes, "I know who you are, Manuel Diaz. But right now," he stands him up, "you're the guy who's going to take me to your jefe." He gets him in the car. He goes, "You try anything, your daughter will be violated by 20 men. You hear me, Manuel Diaz?" He's like, yeah. He makes him get in the car. He gets in the back, puts the gun at his head. They drive off to his boss. Camera pans back. We see Silvio dead on the ground.
Poor Silvio.
No, Silvio is involved in this world.
How could he not have been involved in this world? It's like a life or death situation. You have to choose to be a part of it or you're going to kill you.
Or you can be, and either like if you're a cop or a bad guy, you're always a bad. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You can't win. Our boy Manuel pulls up to this ranch, right? Right when he pulls up, the security walks up and he goes, "Oh, Manuel Diaz." Manuel Diaz coming in. Right then, Benicio shoots that guy in the head. They start driving in. All right. Manuel, as they pull up, and Manuel goes, "So what happens when we get to this house?" Benicio goes, "You'll stop and I'll get out." And he goes, "And what happens to me?" Benicio doesn't say anything. He just goes, "Slow down." So the car slows down. They pull up on this insane, like, billionaire type shit. You know what I mean? Like that kind of mansion. Just like insane Pablo Escobar shit, right? Manuel pulls in. There are 3 men standing outside at the front, right? And they go, "Senor Diaz." And the car is just kind of slowly rolling. They go, "Senor Diaz, what are you doing?" They walk up on it, and the windows roll down, and this nigga's throat is sliced. And he's like, And they're like, what the fuck? Boom, boom, boom. 3 headshots. The niggas is dead now. All right? Benicio breaks into the house. On the radio, you hear, 6 remain. You're going in the house blind. He goes, copy. Right? He walks through the mansion.
Oh, my God.
Super slow. A guy comes down the hall. Bam, bam. Kills him.
Mm-hmm.
5 left.
5 left.
All right?
Wait, is that just the
he
guards?
has the silencer on, so you don't hear. This is a guard.
No, but is it 5 guards or 5 including
We'll
the
find
target?
out.
Okay. Okay.
He walks up. He sees across the yard, and like just like your family, like a beautiful pavilion.
Oh, that's nice.
Like the family's eating dinner out there.
Oh.
Family of 4.
Uh-huh.
He looks over. He sees a maid. Like he just lets the maid go. Walks right by her.
Yeah.
That was the other person.
Mm-hmm.
Remember you said 6 left?
5 left.
5. There's your 5.
Yeah.
All right. He walks up super slow. The guy has 2 sons and a wife, right? They're still eating and listening to music. They don't even notice him yet. They're just eating. And then he walks right up on them, and they all look up, and our boy Benicio's like, bon appetit. And they're all like, it's all quiet. And he goes, stay calm. Stay calm. He like sits and joins them. His gun is out, though. He's like, his legs are crossed. Like, he's like, you know what I mean? Like this, And he's like, he goes, can your kids speak English? And the Pablo Escobar looking nigga is like, no. He goes, okay, then we will speak English. Eat, 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 eat. Tells them all, like, keep eating, right? So he's looking at him, it's quiet. And he goes, every night you have families killed, yet here you dying. Tonight should be no different. The wife is like, she's looking at, because she's just looking at her sons. Mm-hmm. Like we're talking like 8 and 12.
Yeah.
All right. And then the father looks at his boys. He goes, eat, eat. The little boys just keep eating, right? The father goes, you think the people who sent you here are any different? Who do you think we learned this from? He goes, the grieving lawyer, your wife. You think she'd be proud of what you've become today? And then Benicio leans forward and he goes, don't forget about my daughter. It's like, oh, you're going to shame me for that?
Oh.
We'll bring up both of them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Also, I'm not just here for your wife.
Yeah, playboy. He goes, right?
Because that is it's saying, don't forget about my daughter is like, hey, those boys, their lives are.
Oh, we're talking, oh, you forget, because basically, oh, you forgot what you did to me.
Oh.
Oh, did we forget?
Oh, you don't remember everyone you put in a vat of acid?
I do. So he goes, he goes, the head cartel dude goes, oh, your little girl. He goes, Alejandro, it wasn't personal. And then nigga Benicio goes, for me, it was. Calm, though. They're both like just looking at each other like man to man, like this is a conversation, And so the dude gets a little nervous now because he knows what it is now. Mm-hmm. He goes, please, not in front of my boys. And the wife is like, because she knows what's up now. She also speaks English clearly.
Yeah.
And then Benicio just goes, time to meet God. Bam, bam, bam. Kills the 2 sons and the wife first.
Oof.
So now the dude is just like, and then Benicio goes, go ahead, finish your meal. And then as the dude is just like, their ultimate revenge of like, oh, what you thought?
You think I was just going to kill you and let them live?
And you got the easy, no. I'm also going to let you sit in this.
I'm going to let you feel how I feel.
You're going to feel that. I need you to feel it all the way. Sits for a minute. Then Benicio stands. Bam, bam, bam. Fade to black. All right. Cut to, we see our girl Emily smoking a cigarette on a balcony. Her face is all fucked up, like, from the night from Josh Brolin giving it to her. Mm-hmm. And that's how I love how real this movie is, right? Like, it ain't no cookie cutter, like, bro, this just is what it is. But it ain't like she's sitting there crying either. She's just sitting there like pissed, like, the fuck is this? As she's smoking on her balcony, she hears something, she turns around. You hear Alejandro say, I recommend you not standing on a balcony for a while. She's like, She flicks the cigarette. She comes inside. This nigga's got a gun right on her. She's like all pissed. She sits down. He goes, "You look like a little girl when you're scared." He stands and he sits up right up on it. Like he gets super close. Like, you know how all movies be getting close to Nick? Like, he gets really close. Like this. Right? And he's staring at her, gun pointed at her. And he goes, "You remind me of the daughter they took from me." And she's like, she's real scared now. He reaches in his pocket and he pulls out a piece of paper. "I need you to sign this piece of paper. Basically, it says everything we did was done by the book." She's like, he throws a pen on the table. She goes, "I can't sign that." "Sign it." She shakes her head no. And she starts crying, right? She's like, like this, right? He like, "Go ahead and cry, like cry, grab your face." "It's all right. It's all right." Like, put his hand there, right? He goes, "It's all right. Say, I can't sign that."
I can't sign that.
Puts it under her chin like that too, like
dude,
hard, like where she's like, and he's right up on her, like in her eyes, like this. Yo,
Dude.
and she's crying like this, and then as he wipes the tears from her face with his other hand.
Stop.
The gun just like right, like that, right? And he goes, "Sign it." And she's like, she signs it. He gets up. Oh, no. He goes, he puts it under her chin, and then he goes, "Kate, if you don't sign it, you'd be committing suicide." And that's when she starts really crying hard. And he wipes the tears from her face.
Oh, Jesus.
All right? And he goes, "Come on." He's saying it with dead serious face, but he's also, this is the sweetest he can be, if that makes sense.
I really don't want to have to kill you.
I really don't want to have to kill you. I really don't want to have to kill you. Please just sign this paper.
Yeah.
Right? She does.
What happens if they did kill her? Like, who would they get to sign the paper?
They would have to. She committed suicide. That's why he said, if you don't, you'd be committing suicide. It's her gun he has on her neck.
Damn.
So he stands up and he cocks her gun and he throws it back at her, right? And then he goes, "You should move to a small town, Kate, where the rules of law still exist. You will not survive here. You are not a wolf. This is the land of wolves now." And he leaves. Right? She sits there for a second. She looks at her gun and she gets super pissed. And she fucking puts it back together, cocks it, steps on the balcony and points it at him as you see him walking out. She's just pointing the gun at him. He stops and he turns and he stares at her. And she's like, she puts it down. And this nigga's just like, shades on, just keeps walking. Remember the little boy?
Oh, yeah.
The little boy's sitting there looking at his dad's bed. It's just empty. Cut to his mom takes him to a soccer game that day. You see him running and he's about to shoot for a goal. And right when he shoots for a goal, you hear da-da-da-da-da, da-da-da-da-da, and like all the family. It's like regular families at the soccer game, right? You know, just regular people in Mexico who are just at their kid's soccer game. And they all stop and they look up. Back to the soccer game. Sicario.
Oh.
Sam, is that not one of the best movies you have ever heard, that I've ever told you?
That was a really good movie. I feel a lot of feels.
It's not one that makes you cry, but it's one. I love the subtle ending of just like, yo, this isn't.
It's not over.
No, but I like that. Like, hey, they're not all monsters. Like, you know what I'm saying? Some people are just regular people there trying to go to a soccer game, and this is the life they're living. Like,
well,
I like that.
No one thinks that.
I know they don't. I'm just saying I like to. But when you show it, it's more real.
It's sad also that there's so many regular people just living amongst that in fear.
What are they going to do? They can't move. They can't afford it.
Yeah. Also, it's like, where are they going to move to?
Can't go to America.
Well, like you'd have to. It's not just like you can't afford it. It's like a whole legal process.
Yeah.
Dude.
But it's also just like people in the Americans living in bad neighborhoods too. It's the same thing. Like, where are they supposed to go?
Yeah, you're kind of just trapped. Just a part of it.
What'd you think of Benicio?
He was great. Just fucking
Totally
awesome.
deserved the Oscar, huh?
Yeah, I get it. He killed it.
Yo, he killed a family.
He killed the whole family.
Were you on his side when he killed those kids? I've never been on anyone's side more watching them kill kids.
Honestly, I mean, that's the most mercy he could give the kids.
No, he didn't throw them in a vat of acid.
Well, also, if he killed the father and left the family to survive, ultimately they would have died because some other cartel would come in and like use them as or like kill them publicly.
Sam,
to, like,
or
to
the kids grow up to just be the dad. And
or
just,
that.
You see what I'm saying? It keeps going. It doesn't.
There's no like freedom from it.
But what the government isn't trying to, they're just trying to get all the cartels to be on one. If we cut the heads off enough of them, they'll all have to be on one accord.
Yeah, and we can make deals with that guy.
And we can make deals with that guy. Can't make deals with 8 cartels.
Well, because they're all fighting each other. Because if you make deals with one, now you're on the other one's bad side.
You see what I'm saying? And now we're going up against it's just too much.
That's too much.
I thought this movie was so beautifully done. And I love how Emily Blunt's the lead character, but it has nothing to do with her. She's literally just this person thrown in these situations.
She's like she's the viewer.
She's the viewer.
Us.
She's not supposed to be there.
Yeah.
Do you want to watch this one?
Yeah.
This is the one. This is that good.
I don't get. It's like we all know that like this is what the war on drugs is, right?
Yes.
Like for the last like 10, 15 years, we've been making movies kind of explaining like, hey, it's not just like them trying to get drugs into our country. We're like, hey, bring them here, and also
we'll help sell them too.
We'll help sell them too, and all that stuff. And it's like, what? Why do we still call it that? Why do we still act like naive about it if we're making movies and we know exactly what's going on?
Because we're stupid and we like to believe in this Christian values, dumbass ideal of everything's good, everything is awesome.
Yeah.
Like we like to believe in that, like that everything, that there's just the few bad people who do bad things, and then there's the good people who do good things. It's like, no, bro, the cop who was taking his son to soccer practice, that's the point of this movie. Mm-hmm. Is that good people, bad people? It's all fucking, people are just trying to get home to their families,
People are just trying to get by.
People are trying to get by. You know what I'm saying? I love that they showed that cop the whole movie because you knew he was like, oh, this cop is definitely a part of this somehow.
But he wasn't like a bad guy.
They weren't showing him. They were just showing, even though he was a bad guy.
Yeah, but was he a bad guy or was he just a pawn?
In a situation.
Because it's like, you don't know what happened that he was having to do that. Was he killing people doing that? Or was he literally just like someone who had to like, you're an errand boy?
But then again, I do get Benicio del Toro's idea of like, I don't give a flying fuck how you're involved.
I get that because it's like you're on a mission, but as like a viewer, you can't blame.
No, yeah, you weren't mad. I thought they showed the duality of the situation very well.
Yeah.
Oof. Antonio, you picked a motherfucking banger, nigga.
Yeah, Antonio killed it.
That was definitely by far the most fun of the movies I've told. Out of all the paid for bonuses, by far my favorite. Even though I'd seen it already and I was gonna do it anyway, so you technically just gave me $100, which is kind of awesome.
But you put it to the front of the list.
I did put it to the front. I mean, not you, Antonio. You got it done. You got it done. Well, no, it wasn't like he was a natural. He didn't pay extra to jump the line.
No, but I mean, when would we have gotten around to Sicario while we're doing all the other people's? Yeah, but everyone's asking us to do movies. Now it gets up closer. He could have waited a whole other year for that.
Antonio, I'm glad you made it happen, brother.
I'm glad you did too. I really enjoyed this.
I'm so glad, Sam. Because I will never let the cartel hurt you. I will at least try not to.
Thank you.
Bean Mafia, I will do the same for you guys. I will try to make sure the cartel doesn't hurt any of you, but
we'll do our best.
You know, no promises.
We don't have tactical training, so
I don't have much tactical training. I have pretty good farts.
He's not lying.
Bean Mafia, we love you. Antonio, you're the fucking man.
Thank you,
Bean Mafia members that want to, you want to be the next Antonio, you want to pay for the next Spoil the Beans, $100. I'll tell any movie to Sam you would like, any movie you want to hear. People have chosen awesome movies like this. People have chosen psychotic movies like I Saw the Devil. People have chosen fun movies I've never heard of like Sing Street. You know what I mean? Like people have chosen all kinds of cool things. High Plains Drifter, Undercover Brother, comedy. You can choose whatever movie you want me to tell, I will tell Sam. The list is like 30 people long. You guys have fucking showed up and showed out. We love the Bean Mafia. And we're going to keep that going. We're just going to do that for, it looks like it'll never end. So I'm excited for it.
Yeah.
Love you guys. I will see you in a couple days. Keep those dick hards. Keep those pussies wet.
Keep them hard. Keep them wet.